In Han Feng's words of praise, Chung Lam was standing in a horse stance with trembling legs. Very good, very good. He glanced at the watch on his wrist, held it for another 30 seconds, stayed steady. 10, 9, 8, 7, time's up. As soon as Han Feng finished counting, he waved his hand to signal that she could take a short rest. The girl's body was soaked in sweat after prolonged exercise, and Chung Lam plopped down wearily. This exercise is called the horse stance. Persistent practice can make the lower body more stable and enable faster, stronger force release. Seeing that she was exhausted, he handed her a water bottle, explaining that currently she could not use psychic power smoothly, but this would benefit her training, strengthening her foundation. After a period of time, once she overcame her psychological barriers and mastered Shen Su and Tian Yuan again, her strength would increase rapidly. Chung Lam raised her head and nodded. I understand. Thank you, instructor. The girl scratched her head, looking a bit hesitant. Right, my brother will pick me up in 2 days. Can we not tell him? I'm doing special training. Han Feng slightly raised an eyebrow, his gaze full of curiosity. Why? Chung Lam blushed and turned her face away, replying, my brother is too talented. He learns everything quickly, and every time I compare myself to him, I feel so stupid, unable to help him even with small matters. Her fingers traced small circles on the ground. He looked up at the sky slightly and let out a laugh. Everyone has their own strengths. Your talent is in no way inferior to your brother's. It's just that you were born a few years later. Moreover, even your brother, however capable, cannot handle everything alone, and there will be times when he will need your help too. A look of doubt briefly appeared on Chung Lam's face. Immediately after, as if she understood, she broke into a joyful smile. Yes. Elsewhere, Chung Nuyen sat silently, deep in thought. Seeing the space too quiet, Feng Qin spoke up. Xuan Min, you're standing too far away. Can you really see clearly? Chung Nuyen kept his expression, calmly replying, I can see clearly. He tilted his head and glanced sideways. Moving closer wouldn't be a problem. Feng Qin turned his head and said, she is my sister, not my dependent. If I stand too close, I would hinder her growth. Feng Qin clicked his tongue with amusement, a mix of curiosity on his face. Actually, in these past 2 days, your sister has learned quite a lot in the military region. Chung Nuyen raised his eyebrows in surprise. Noticing the curiosity on his face, Feng Qin immediately explained, armored vehicles, supersonic fighter jets, warships, she has piloted them all, and the instructor said she is extremely talented at driving and wanted to ask your opinion. Chung Nuyen's eyes widened in disbelief. He slapped his forehead with a hand, eyes full of helplessness. Her life is hers to decide. In short, you just need to provide a little support. The rest is for the young sapling to grow on its own. Feng Qin's eyes suddenly sparkled, bright like a puppy's. I have an outrageous request. Can you teach me how to shoot flying discs? Besides me, there are many others in the military region who want to learn from you. Before he could finish, Chung Nuyen firmly refused. I am very busy. Feng Qin did not give up and continued to plead. Just 1 session, please. Seeing his flattering expression, Chung Nuyen relented. Fine, 1 session, no more. He returned to his familiar, old room. Chung Nuyen put his hands in his pockets and slowly walked to stand in front of his coffin. After being busy outside for several days, he could finally rest peacefully. In his mind, he thought, this time I absorbed a large amount of solid snow mist psychic crystals and the 2-headed eagle crystals, making my sleepiness even stronger. Moreover, the negative energy in the psychic crystals continuously affects my mental state, making me violent and irritable, always wanting to hit someone. He slightly frowned while reaching out to open the lid. If activating the dual-use single-mind ability truly allows splitting into 2, could one sleep while the other operates outside? Carrying this thought, Chung Nuyen gently climbed into his bed, deciding to try first and figure it out later. He immediately began, splitting his consciousness into 2, successful. Next, he projected half of himself outward. After completing everything, Chung Nuyen looked satisfied. Good. With a creak, the coffin lid slowly opened. He opened his eyes, vision normal. Yet why did his bed suddenly feel so high? And the sensation of moving was strange. As he stepped out of the coffin, he was surprised to look down and see cat legs. Stumbling as he walked, Chung Nuyen panicked and let out several meow sounds. Chung Nuyen looked into the mirror and saw it sitting on his shoulder. He reached up to stroke his chin, and the black cat imitated the action. Practical testing had proven that the dual-use single-mind ability could indeed create two selves, but both selves could not be entirely Chung Nuyen. The two glanced at each other, eyes filled with speculation. Given that one self already exists, the second form implicitly acknowledges itself as the black cat. Even sharing a single consciousness, both selves could have independent thoughts. The second form could project itself as an animal or another person, but it could never be oneself, including any other forms in subjective perception that might be considered a representation of Chung Nuyen. When one self enters the shadow world to sleep, the remaining selves active outside are forced to assume the second form. They cannot maintain the appearance of Chung Nuyen and directly become the black cat. Its eyes never left him, and then a meow sound echoed. Chung Nuyen frowned, realizing that when he takes the form of a cat, attempts to speak automatically turn into meow meow meow. He opened his phone and typed in a search query, asking why cats cannot talk. A series of answers appeared on the screen. Answer 1. There is no language center in a cat's brain. Answer 2. A cat's vocal cords are positioned in a recessed part of the larynx and cannot produce the phonemes characteristic of humans. Immersed in research, Chung Nuyen was startled when the black cat suddenly jumped down. His projection now retained only an external shape, while internally it was entirely composed of the energy of the shadow world. If he altered the internal structure of the projection, could he use the cat form to speak human language? The black cat's face briefly showed discomfort but seemed to be searching for something. It lay on the ground, rolling around with delight. He watched and thought to himself that with his current mental strength, he still could not handle something so complex. Well, no one would ask a cat to open its mouth and talk anyway. Chung Nuyen returned to the coffin, stepped inside, and gave it a high five. I'll sleep first, wake up at 6 in the morning, and sleep well. As soon as he stepped in, the system panel immediately appeared. Snow Mist Psychic Crystal, Thermal Overpressure, Calamity Level 2, can be upgraded. Eternal Ice Abyss, Calamity Level, cannot be upgraded. Life Authority, Calamity Level 2, can be upgraded. Death Realm, Calamity Level, cannot be upgraded. Blood Ice Fury, Calamity Level, cannot be upgraded. Demon Jubilant Crystal, Courage, Green Level, cannot be upgraded. Blood Debt, Red Level 8, Body can be upgraded for true poison users. Chung Nuyen pondered carefully. After activating dual-use single mind, all his power is halved, but its essence remains unchanged. The second form can also use the abilities normally. Now he has 14 types of abilities, except for Thermal Overpressure and Eternal Ice Abyss, which could precisely control their power before upgrading. The others could not be downgraded for use. In his cat form, he smiled and raised his claws. Very good. Taking advantage of the fact that the cat servant Chuo Yuan was still in the psychic crystal realm, he restarted the plan to restrain the wild cat. In another place, Chung Nuyen quickly approached a building where a girl was playing with a cat. Someone had already arrived ahead of him. If he remembered correctly, she was the twin sister of Kwang Tian Shuo, Kwang Si Yuan, right. He seemed to have met her before in the special third-year classroom. Noticing eyes fixed on him, she turned around to look back. Tu Nuyen's eyes sparkled as she thought, the little black cat is so cute, walking gracefully, with such a noble posture, truly the king among cats. I've never seen it before. Is it a new cat here? She stood up and reached out holding some food to entice him. Come here, I have some delicious food. He snorted coldly in disdain in his heart, trying to stop me from disciplining wild cats and now even wants to lure me in your dreams. After all, no one knows he is Chung Nuyen right now. In front of others he can act freely. She looked at him suspiciously as he focused on observing the other cats. The stray cats seemed less familiar with him than before. Is it because it's been a long time so the super-level semi-intelligence no longer works, or because he changed form? Chung Nuyen suddenly shifted posture, causing a radiant glow to emit from his body, activating his ability once more. Streams of pink energy radiated all around him. Yet the three cats continued staring at Chung Nuyen, making the atmosphere unusually silent. His face darkened, anger clearly visible. Strange, why no reaction at all? Chung Nuyen didn't notice that behind Tu Nuyen, she had reached out with a wide smile. Her heart-shaped eyes lunged forward eagerly. Little black cat, let me hug you. Tu Nuyen hurriedly reached out as if to hug him tightly. But Chung Nuyen didn't let her achieve her wish and swiftly dodged to the side. He thoughtfully observed that the super-level semi-intelligence has little effect on humans, so what's wrong with this person? Tu Nuyen ignored everything else at the moment, her eyes full of delight as she laughed excitedly while looking toward the black cat. The three nearby cats silently watched, utterly speechless at these actions. Chung Nuyen, extremely bewildered, gradually calmed himself to analyze. Not right. Perhaps he had always misunderstood before. Super-level semi-intelligence does not mean the lower the target's intelligence, the more effective it is, but it works best when used between different species. Now that he is in cat form, semi-intelligence on cats only reduces their hostility, causing them to feel some affection toward him, while semi-intelligence on humans can directly make them completely obedient, even. He can use Ku power to engage in simple emotional interactions, influencing human behavior, her eyes sparkling with admiration and negotiation, because the soup reward didn't appeal to her, so she didn't like it. Tomorrow I'll bring you a piece of premium raw fish, okay? Then Tu Nuyen quickly sat down and took out her phone to snap a picture, but he immediately turned away and ran in the opposite direction. This ability to manipulate people is truly terrifying. From now on, in cat form he must be careful when using semi-intelligence. Suddenly Chung Nuyen was startled and froze, staring toward her. Without a wasted movement, he snatched the phone from her hands. Su Yuan was stunned, unable to understand what was happening. Her small, delicate hands swiped across the screen to delete. At that moment she was extremely shocked, bewildered. No way. This cat even knows how to delete photos. Am I dreaming? Shortly after, Su Yuan hurriedly opened her phone and smiled brightly. It's okay, the photos are still in the recovery folder. It's not a dream, must quickly back them up. The scene shifted elsewhere, where the brilliant sunlight gently shone down on the buildings below. Chung Nuyen was walking along the corridor when he was suddenly drawn to the crowd. In a corner of the school everyone was gathered, bustling and chatting. Senior Zhang Rui sent a message saying, I need to go to the cafeteria this morning. There is something important to discuss with me. All of them could not take their eyes off her, exclaiming, the elder sister is so beautiful. Is she from our school? Why haven't I seen her before? Next, someone snatched the title of beauty from Tu Yuan. Zhang Rui slowly stepped forward apologizing, sorry, I am late. Chung Nuyen saw her and was a bit surprised. Senior Zhang Rui. She lightly tucked her hair back, her face shy and embarrassed. Well, I agreed with you. After successfully absorbing the Cur essence, I would change my hairstyle, that's why. He glanced approvingly. Not bad, very fitting. Zhang Rui stammered, thank you. Around them, classmates kept chattering continuously. Zhang Rui. She looks so beautiful without her glasses. Look at the way she talks with Chung Nuyen. Are they interacting with each other? I heard Tu Yuan already did that thing with Chung Nuyen. 1 foot in 2 boats. Suddenly Feng King appeared behind, speaking with a hint of teasing. I didn't arrive at the right time. Huh. She turned around immediately, both happy and amused. No, you arrived at exactly the right time. The scene shifted to the school cafeteria. The three of them sat down together to talk. He complained in exasperation. Do you really want me to sit here? Both Zhang Rui and Feng Qin replied in unison. Yes, all right. He picked up a hot white bun to eat. Suddenly he cursed under his breath as if fire was spitting from his mouth, angrily shouting, Why is this Sichuan meat bun so spicy? My aunt at home tricked me. I should just throw it away and buy another one. Seeing Feng Qin's intention, Chung Nuyen immediately spoke up to stop him wasting food. He unhesitatingly turned to confront him, pointing at the tray of buns. So what can I do? You eat it for me. Chung Nuyen looked disgusted. Get lost. You are not my sister either. Feng Qin teased him even more. Brother. He quickly pushed him aside to cut in. All right, disgusting. Across from them, Zhang Rui sat there gazing at the two of them, thinking to herself, breakfast really is wonderful. The scene shifted to the administrative office. Yuanao walked in with a confident expression, thinking to herself, this time our team in the Longsing Mountain dimension has obtained 139 spirit crystals. Even if we don't make the national top 10, it's still better than that unlucky Feng Qin who had to draw the Zhangjiji dimension. She pushed the door open to deliver important news. The head supervisor, the 2 Yuanao team has completed the hunt in the dimension, suddenly alarmed. The administrative office was in complete chaos. Intruders were rummaging through the spirit stones. Head supervisor, there are 1,000 Though May Diet spirit crystals here, all of quite high quality. Hearing this, someone immediately remembered, pack them up and put them with the sorted ones. Suddenly, holding a differently colored spirit stone in his hand, Fangya shouted in panic, this spirit crystal looks like it's from the Moonlight Lake. Hearing this, Gu Enham responded in astonishment. Indeed, this is even more valuable than the Though May Diet crystals. Quickly check the sorted bags, and don't miss a single Moonlight Lake crystal. Tran Min could not help but voice his doubt. Why aren't these precious spirit crystals stored separately? After witnessing everything, Yuanao looked puzzled, thinking to herself, what is going on? Why does the administrative office contain so many spirit crystals that it looks like a wholesale market? Without any patience, Quan Yi threw down her bag and turned around waving her hand. I'm leaving. Handle the report yourself. At this moment, the room echoed with voices of joy and excitement. They discovered 2 more Moonlight Lake spirit crystals. Overtime pay must triple. Take advantage of the next day to finish the work. Once sorted, have a celebration party. Yuan Ao's expression gradually turned sour as she concluded in her mind. This is a scam. Even hacking couldn't produce this many spirit crystals. They must be fakes. The scene shifted to night with a sky full of twinkling stars. On the empty alley, 2 Nuyen followed behind, speaking in a soothing voice. All right, don't be angry anymore. Let's pet the cat together and relax. She didn't reply, just murmured in acknowledgement, seeing that she changed the subject. Yesterday I met a super cute, super beautiful, super smart black cat at the crematorium. I already made an appointment with it. Today I will bring it some delicious food. On the rooftop of the building, the slender black figure with the bright shining eyes of Chung Nuyen appeared, thinking to himself, so Kwang Tzu Yuan really came. The power of the super intellect hasn't completely faded yet. Seeing the presence of the little cat, she looked delighted and shouted, it's here. As it landed, he had already calculated everything in his mind. Approach a little. Let's see how much effect of the super intellect remains. Feeling the cat coming closer, Tu Nuyen's joy was evident on her face. Come here, come here. Yuan Ao had now lost her previous annoyance and became gentler. Tu Nuyen, it's so adorable. After finding a suitable spot, Chung Nuyen couldn't help but think, this cat's nest is also clean enough. Sitting here won't be a problem. Her face became very warm. She held out the box of food to the little cat and spoke. This is something I specially prepared for you. Royal salmon transported by air from the Viking Empire. He remained indifferent, only focused on his reasoning. His Kun energy had disappeared, but the traces left could not be erased. Her cat obsession had not decreased. Super intellect forms an influence on people. It shouldn't last forever. Suddenly Chung Nuyen was startled when he saw Yuan Ao pucker her lips toward him. Immediately he used his personal technique, not forgetting to judge the cat slap. Chung Nuyen ran off, leaving her with a red mark on her face and Tu Nuyen's anxious call, ow ow. On the next fine morning, Yuan Ao appeared with a bored look and a bruised face on one side. Seeing this, Feng King couldn't help but complain. So this is why you called me to the medical room. Let me see, the wound has healed, but the bruise remains because it was left too long. Did you treat it yourself? Hearing this, Yunao replied, I didn't treat it well myself, so I came to you. Feng King asked with doubt, can she absorb healing ability? Yunao answered gruffly, any problem. He pondered silently. The strongest aspect of Chung Ku's ultimate prayer is that even if she has no other abilities, she can use the 100% synchronization copying ability of a person in the command system to achieve the strategic goal of being invincible for a long time, sacrificing her own greatest value. What is her intention? The synchronization function works by randomly copying the target's ability by touching it, lasting 24 hours. As he passed by Yunao, Feng King used his own skill to heal all the cat scratch wounds. Before leaving, he didn't forget to speak a reminder. Respect, blessing, don't die at my door. Doubt had reached its peak. Feng King silently speculated. The footprints on her face were clearly not something a normal cat could leave. There must be a skilled one appearing in the academy. On a large tree branch, Chung Nuyen curled up and closed his eyes, thinking to himself, Lam's training in the military district still hasn't ended. In these past few days, my main self can sleep in the dark world as usual, and the second form can nap outside, which means I can sleep more than twice as much. Below, Feng King was following the news while secretly marveling. Qiong-tu Nguyen actually posted a high reward on the school forum to find traces of the mysterious black cat. Could it be the one that injured to Ian Och? He sensed it sharply and immediately looked up at the tree branch. Feng King adjusted his glasses and used his magical eye to evaluate. Above Chung Nuyen's head, the result appeared as 0. He raised his voice with a tone of reproach about being a proper person as promised. Upon hearing that, in the form of the little cat, Chung Nuyen let out a few pretend innocent meows. Feng King became even angrier and shouted, Before, why was I checking the lifespan of a cat? Shouldn't you have explained first? Why aren't you human but still using Ker energy to attack? Chung Nuyen in cat form still acted naive, not giving the answer he expected, and gritted his voice, No, I don't understand cat language. Academically speaking, cats don't even have a language center. There is no such thing as cat speech in this world, all recorded. Out of options, he could only sigh helplessly and use single mind dual use, cancel. Chung Nuyen leapt down, transformed into human form and spoke. Feng King, human abilities are limited, mocking. He immediately retorted, You're talking nonsense. Clearly it's because your sister isn't here that you started causing trouble, right? The scene shifted, and the two climbed up to sit on the roof. Feng King turned and asked, Nuyen, in your view, what exactly counts as a human? Chung Nuyen didn't hesitate to express his opinion. The overall structure of all social relations, he continued, this person, although only human in appearance, in essence is like a heterotype, cannot absorb Ker energy, can only evolve independently, and is not attacked by heterotypes. Can this still be considered a human? Hearing this, he simply replied briefly, That's right. It seems that his abilities have always been limited to 4 types, like the Sun Strike, Healing Wind, Rejuvenation, and Life Resonance. Can the eyes that can see lifespan be considered a type of ability? After thinking for a moment, Feng King glanced over and replied, It's best to call it my innate ability. The other 3 types I evolved independently during experiments at the Science Institute, and the eyes are a biological trait. Ku energy for me is no different from an ordinary rock. Even if I consume it, it's like a 2-headed eagle spitting out a pile of bones. Nuyen, in the end you still didn't finish off those 2-headed eagles. Upon hearing that, Chung Nuyen responded with utter helplessness. There's already too much Ker energy, he quickly added, seeing them alive. I couldn't bear to watch them die. Understood. He suddenly became dazed, speaking coldly, hearing them cry. I couldn't bring myself to eat them. Suddenly memories flooded back. As he spoke, the scene of the battle appeared. I will not soften toward humans, let alone heterotypes, I am just thinking. The competition between humans and heterotypes is purely competitive. The gain of one side inevitably comes with the loss of the other. Even when entering the domain to hunt nurtured heterotypes, humans still risk counterattacks. But if the nature of this competition changes from rivalry to cooperation, the benefits humans can obtain are actually even greater. Elsewhere, in the sky, a two-headed creature appeared. Suddenly someone turned and spoke cautiously. "Principal Bach, this is the strange two-headed eagle king. It does not attack people at all. On the contrary, it actively shows goodwill, even willing to wait for people to fly." Looking up with cruel eyes, Heen snarled sarcastically, "Truly a stupid beast, not knowing it is in a slaughterhouse yet running up to show kindness to the butcher." The bird then landed, rubbing its large head against the hands of those below. An assessing voice rang out. "It seems very obedient." He had a cannon ready and spoke mockingly. "The chickens and ducks at the market are also obedient." The sights were aimed straight at the bird's head. It remained carefree and acted cute. While staring at Heenley, it said, "The royal clan's psychic crystal is a precious resource that makes humans slaughter each other. Even if I do not kill it, someone else will come to kill it." With that, a thunderous explosion rang out. Fire and smoke and feathers flew everywhere. After it was dealt with, he even put on a superior air and declared, "In this world, all order can only be maintained by violence. Big fish eat small fish is the truth of the psychic world." Nhu Thai could not hold back and spoke. "La Hao, this time you let the devil-eye beetle fall into the hands of Vuong Fa Ditch, and even pushed the Thien Can team in there, forcing the leader to personally clean up the mess. Now he has serious objections to you." Heenla replied gently, "So, you also want to scold me?" Nhu Thai glanced briefly while explaining. "No, I am just reminding you. My goal has always been to become the wife of the Kudi leader. I do not care who the leader is. If you fail in your promotion, I will no longer become your doomed partner." Yet Heenla decisively exposed. "Truly a cold-blooded woman. I originally wanted to give you a surprise. Stop beating around the bush, just say it." Then she also explained the situation. Fong Jia's informant has discovered the trail of the death god of Dang Thap Nation in Quang Vien City. Once gaining immediate power, no one can stop me from becoming the new leader of Kudia. I remember the upcoming university tournament will also be held there. By then, many psychic users will gather, likely causing unexpected events. Heen Li appeared completely unconcerned. "Danger and opportunity always coexist. I have a very careful plan. As long as it is executed smoothly, all potential threats can be eliminated at once." At the same time in the office, Fa Ditch wanted to clarify the issue. The psychic administration had thoroughly investigated the Thien Can team, but ultimately they could not find much useful information. The enemy either had clever methods leaving no flaws or special means to avoid the Vuong Fa Ditch's projections. Chung Nguyen replied, "Then just wait and see. With the level of threat you pose to them, sooner or later they will act again." After speaking, he immediately stood up. "If nothing else, I am going to pick up my sister from school now." At which point Fa Ditch stopped him. "Wait," he said. "You have not logged into the official trade city as a psychic user yet. Generally, you must join a team first to log in. But the missions you have completed have already accumulated over 1.5 million merit points. We can help you register an account first." Chung Nguyen responded, "Oh, I will check it out later." Then he set off for home. Chung Lam excitedly confided, "Brother, flying the plane is really fun. If it weren't for Instructor Lai telling me I need to prepare the foundational aspects first, I would really want to switch careers to become a pilot right now." Chung Nguyen advised, "If you want to become a pilot, you must protect your eyesight. Don't become nearsighted." The girl obediently exclaimed, "Yes." "While we are at it," Chung Nguyen suggested, "reminded just now, the year is almost over. It is time to buy new clothes for you. You always say I pick childish clothes. This year let you choose yourself. How about that?" According to Lam's aesthetic taste, she thinks the military region combat uniform is very beautiful and neat. It combines both beauty and practicality. Sadly, there is no size for her. Suddenly Chung Nguyen turned on his phone. Lam, look at this." Lam admired and exclaimed, "The combat uniform can even be custom made. And Chung Nguyen indulgently revealed, with a rank you can get custom work done in the Psychic's Trade City. I will custom make all models to your sizes. The girl was delighted. Fine. Then he proposed, Lam, since entering the academy you have been studying and training. One weekend we should go out together. But Chung Lam firmly refused. I do not want to. Now, apart from wanting to become stronger, she does not want to do anything else. You are so capable. If I do not try to improve, then how can I be your sister? I already told the military region people that from now on weekends will be for training. Hearing that Chung Nguyen did not want to force her, fine. But he felt very sad inside. Always feeling Lam in this life had embarked on a fanatic path of combat and will never return. Now Chung Nguyen was intently scrolling his phone. His merit points totaled more than 1.5 million. Buying clothes and shoes for Lam would not even exhaust the remainder. See what else to buy. The screen displayed information about the Tho Mei Diet Psychic Crystal. 10,000 merit points or 100,000 yuan per block. Each block contains 10 pieces. Seller, Eastern Hua Military Region Logistics Department. That made him a bit puzzled. The Tho Mei Diet crystals we handed in last time are already listed for sale. This trash psychic crystal still has so many buyers. Next was another item, Cold Weapon Line Extreme Path. 150,000 merit points can be exchanged for any crafted weapon. 1-year warranty repair. If severely damaged, will be replaced with a new one. Seller, Supervision Bureau. Chung Nguyen assessed. Quite many types. Swords, guns, spears, axes. Yet no throwing knives. The set in my hands truly is a sample from the Supervision Bureau. Then he thought, 1 million merit points can custom make a specialized weapon. I have the master combat ability. Any weapon is not much different. Probably no need to custom make. Immediately another item appeared. One person made a special made bed super alloy. 100,000 merit points plus 100,000 yuan. New product promotion: buy 2 get 1 free. Buy 4 get 2 free. Seller, Supervision Bureau. Chung Nguyen swore madly, damn it. Now Chung Nguyen finally had an epiphany. It turned out that his bed now was made by the Supervision Bureau. When it says custom made, it really is. Feng Qin's relationship with the Supervision Bureau is indeed deep. Locked up, his main body was in the golden coffin of the museum, prison code. The alloy coffin he usually sleeps in could all become a medium for him to create a projection body. If he also left a trace of dark world energy elsewhere, he could perhaps teleport instantly through the dark world. Finally, he decided, try it. While it's buy 4 get 2 free, buy a few more. A panicked voice shouted loudly, Director Vuong, big trouble. The person inside was busy working on the computer. Than Tone did not forget to reply. What happened? Han Lam reported in a panic. The mystical coffins we left in the Psychic's Trade City have all been bought by one person, 6 at a time. Than Tone was shocked to the point of spitting out water from his mouth. Han Lam continued, the buyer's name is Chung Nguyen. The document security level is too high, so we cannot view it. That's why we came to report to you. But Than Tone was suspicious. The gold coffin copy was a single order that Feng Truc Trin placed for her son. The recipient is Chung Nguyen of Academy City. It would not be strange for him to copy one for himself. But why buy so many? To give to others, perhaps. Han Lam continued. Chung Nguyen also said, after finishing the items he will contact us to choose the delivery time and location. In the end, Than Tone had to issue orders. Follow his instructions, carry out normal procedures. Remember to remove the coffin from the shelf when this order is complete. Don't mess around again. Han Lam said firmly, understood. At this moment Chung Nguyen was still carefully examining the items. Besides being able to use merit points and money to purchase goods in the Psychic's Trade City, there were also other exchange options. He stopped in front of one item. This spirit crystal was quite good. The screen displayed the details. Product, White Whale Spirit Crystal. Hidden abilities, initial ability, diving, super level sonar. Price, direct purchase not accepted. Only exchange conditions accepted by the seller. Northern Flower Military District Logistics Unit exchange condition. representing Northern Flower Military District in battle 3 times. From what he knew, initial ability was a power that the instructor Liu used to help others increase the success rate of absorbing spirit crystals. Apparently, there was no rank. Diving and super-level sonar were unclear whether they could be upgraded. But even diving at the lowest level was very useful for him. Finally, Chung Nguyen decided to try contacting me. At a certain company, an employee ran in shouting, "Deputy Commander Ha! The white whale spirit crystal we listed in the Psychics Trade City has already received an inquiry for exchange. The other party's name is Chung Nguyen. The document security level is too high, so I cannot view it." Ha Ki-hai tried to recall Chung Nguyen. This name sounds familiar, let me check. After a moment he remembered, it's him. Hyen Min possesses strategic level cunning. Suppressed the monsters at Oxhead Mountain. A person like that staying in the Eastern Flower Military District is truly a rare talent underutilized. With Chung Nguyen's ability, Ki-hai calculated that if he could exchange a unit without regional restrictions, he could provide nationwide support anytime. 9 spirits at the right time was such a unit. Just directly ask Kai-tu for advice. Immediately he went to gather more information. Kai-tu said, "Actually, Chung Nguyen is already the 8th reserve of 9 spirits." Ki-hai questioned in displeasure, "Then why didn't you say earlier?" And Kai-tu replied, "The specific situation is quite complicated. He himself doesn't even know about it," which made Ki-hai even more puzzled. Kai-tu briefly recalled Feng Qin's words. Nguyen never works in the usual way. A place as shabby as 9 spirits has many molds and bad habits. The fact that he didn't flatten your Institute of Corpses is already showing respect to you. Finally, he reminded, in short, do not interfere in the internal affairs of 9 spirits. Yet Ki-hai remained firm in his opinion, no matter what. Discuss the spirit crystal matter with Chung Nguyen first. The books were neatly arranged on the shelf. Chung Nguyen's phone rang loudly. "Get up. The sun is already shining on your butt." He quickly picked up the phone. Chung Nguyen read a bit of the information displayed, an unfamiliar number from the city of Thuongkin, from the Huabei military district, apparently. Then he answered the call. "Hello." The person on the other end introduced himself. "Hello, I am Commander Ha Jai Hui of the Huabei military district. Should I call you Xuanming or Chung Nguyen?" And he replied, "Xuanming." Jai Hui got straight to the point. "Xuanming, we would like to give you a Beijing dolphin crystal. No transaction required." Chung Nguyen stated his viewpoint clearly. "That is not very appropriate." Jai Hui continued to discuss, "It is not that we do not want your help, but that the city of Shandong where you are is too far from Huabei. From the moment the crystal appears to when it is activated. Normally it does not take half an hour, but running from Thuongdong to Huabei takes at least 2 or 3 hours. We cannot wait that long." Chung Nguyen showed no hesitation. "Deputy Commander Ha, if you say so, then only people from Huazhong can trade with you, and Huazhong is not near the sea, so I'm afraid they cannot use the potential power within the Beijing dolphin crystal." Jai Hui had to admit, "You are smart. I will not beat around the bush anymore. We are offering this crystal to attract people from other military districts to Huabei." Chung Nguyen asked directly, "Then why are you giving me this crystal?" It seemed as if the prey had fallen into the trap. Jai Hui pondered, "Valuing your future achievements, he should make friends with you first." Yet Chung Nguyen had already insightfully seen through the intention. "Oh, so generous, Deputy Commander. Aren't you afraid that I might take the crystal and then turn against you?" This remark of his made Jai Hui a little uncomfortable. "If you turn against us, we would at most lose 1 Beijing crystal. On the contrary, if we were to regret giving this crystal, what really matters is your goodwill toward the military district." Chung Nguyen remained silent for a moment to consider. This Deputy Commander Ha is indeed both courageous and magnanimous. Revealing a little secret to him shouldn't be a problem. Then he exposed himself. "Actually, I have an ability that allows instant teleportation. From the city of Shandong to Huabei takes only a few minutes. For me, suppressing the Beijing crystal across districts is not difficult." Jai Hui asked skeptically, "Really?" In response, Chung Nuyen proposed, before activating this ability, I need to send you something like this first to serve as the means for instant teleportation. He happily agreed, no problem, just send it. Van Ka was staring at something with a stunned expression. He wanted to confirm, are you sure you want to give this to the deputy commander of the Huabei military district? Chung Nuyen affirmed, definitely. Right, I have the Black Hue medal from the youth list. Can it be sent urgently? Van Ka's face turned pale. Yes, it can. He could not help but be astonished. Damn. So you are the second-ranked elder. No wonder you dare to send such a troublesome thing to the commander. Immediately after, the delivery vehicle set off. Upon arrival, Van Ka carefully asked, It's quite large. Where should it be placed? The staff member replied, Put it in the commander's office. Please follow me. Van Ka responded, All right. Just looking at the item in his hands, the staff member flinched. No matter how you look at it, this seems like a coffin. The world of the elders, I don't understand, but anyway, just deliver it. Van Ka politely requested, Please sign for it. Here is the payment. While Jai Hui was still in a dazed state, Oh, all right. He looked at the item before him in confusion. What is this? Why does it look like something newly shelved at the Supervisory Bureau? How does Xuan Ming have it? Why is he sending it to me? Who am I? What am I doing? What is happening? After completing his task, Van Ka left. Deputy Commander Ha took his time to look at it. Jai Hui responded, All right. He began to open the lid of the coffin. Nothing was inside. Xuan Ming playing a trick on me. Then Jai Hui, frustrated, called to question, Xuan Ming, you gave me quite a surprise. Yet Chung Nuyen asked, Have you signed for the item already? And Jai Hui assured him, Yes, I have. Then he replied, Well then, that's good. Jai Hui still could not grasp what was happening, until the coffin lid was suddenly opened, startling him. Jai Hui instinctively slowly turned his head to look. From inside, Chung Nuyen appeared unexpectedly, greeting Deputy Commander Hot, It is a great honor to meet you. Meanwhile, Jai Hui was frozen in place by this person. He remained motionless for several minutes. Only after a long while did his arm move. Chung Nuyen stepped out of the coffin. Deputy Commander Ha, since you said it could be paid for, I went ahead and had it shipped express by the east wind. You didn't notice, right? Jai Hui stammered in response, No, I didn't notice. He suddenly remembered something, right? Jai Hui opened the cabinet and took out the item. Then he handed it to Chung Nuyen, the Beijing dolphin crystal as mentioned. Take a look first. He did not forget to say, Thank you, sir. Chung Nuyen had some questions, wondering if the Beijing dolphin crystal could be absorbed. The system displayed information. The Beijing dolphin crystal has the following abilities. Initial ability, red rank, cannot be upgraded. Diving ability, gold rank, can upgrade to supersonic wave. Gold rank can upgrade. After reading, he decided, according to the records, he already has all 8 abilities, so he should not absorb the crystal in front of others. He will deal with it later. Then Chung Nuyen asked, Deputy Commander Ha, do you still have more Beijing dolphin crystals? Jai Hui provided some information. The Beijing dolphin crystal is a rare aquatic heteromorphic species. It only appeared twice in the Hua Kingdom Science Institute, which once planned to cultivate them in the aquatic realm, but ultimately failed, and the total number of Beijing dolphin crystals in Hua Kingdom has not even reached 100. Chung Nuyen quickly absorbed all the information, understood. After speaking, he returned to the coffin. All right, if there's nothing else, I'll leave first. Jai Hui extended an invitation. It's rare to come to Shangjing. Won't you stay for a meal before leaving? Chung Nuyen politely replied, My visit actually did not take much effort. Jai Hui was amazed again. You spent little effort in teleporting. Is there a time limit or something? Chung Nuyen mentioned a few precautions. The lid must be closed tightly. No light can enter. Aside from that, there are no restrictions. Yet Jai Hui still tried to persuade him. Understood. You really won't stay for a meal. The specialty roast duck of Shangjing, cooked in the original traditional way, not far from here. Chung Nuyen scratched his head and suggested, Oh, can I have it wrapped to take home? The golden roast duck was being dipped into the sauce. Feng Qin was curious. Zio Lam Lam, why do you need chili sauce even for roast duck? And Chung Lam revealed, I don't like it without spice. Suddenly, an uninvited guest appeared, so Chung Nguyen complained, Lam Lam and I are eating takeout, and you two just came to join us. Quan Yi cheerfully explained, since you didn't go to the cafeteria, I felt it was unusual and came to check the dormitory. Feng Qin agreed, that's right. But why does this roast duck taste so much like the one from 2 kilometers east of my house? Chung Nguyen showed obvious annoyance. I don't know, anyway I can't tell. Just then, 2 cats suddenly ran onto the table. Chung Lam hurriedly grabbed the plate of meat. Hey, there are stray cats trying to steal my food, go chase them away. With a single snap of his fingers, Chung Nguyen flicked the cat out of the way. Witnessing this, Quan Yi even dropped his piece of meat, thinking, the use of Kai energy to deal with cats, don't let the cat slaves see it. Chung Lam retorted, so what if they see, will they be scared of us? Cats are disgusting animals. They usually lick their bodies, licking their legs, their private parts, and even their tails. They look cute but are actually filthy. Hey, you're not a cat slave, right? Chung Nguyen was already frustrated, and Feng Qin added nonsense. Don't worry, we're not cat slaves, it's just that cat slaves happen to like us. Chung Lam speculated, for example, that Chung is extremely willing. Feng Qin confirmed, yes, because of this she even got slapped by the others. Chung Lam praised it, well done. Feng Qin felt secretly pleased. Luckily my sister doesn't like cats, otherwise that little rascal would definitely turn into a cat and pounce on her. Just thinking about the fact that black cats are actually humans, aside from silence, what else could one say? The 2 female students discussed the hunting academy ranking in the aquatic realm. Feng Qin's team and Liu Bo's team from our school both made the top 10. Feng Qin's team obtained 80 Sikwo and 619 Kai crystals, ranking second. The remainder of their number isn't even complete. Is this true or false? At the same time, Yuan Ao was also updating information, hearing that someone reported this to the Kai Management Bureau, and finally the data was confirmed to be accurate. She began to feel fear. Her team ranked 11th nationwide, 3rd in the school, and each academy could only take 2 quotas. Am I about to be eliminated? Ko Enham announced firmly, students, the hunting competition in the aquatic realm has concluded. The results have been approved by the organizers. This time, the teams from our school participating in the university tournament are Feng Qin's team and Liu Bo's team. According to the tournament rules, each team may add 2 reserve members. Liu Wen continued, those of you in the Tuyuanao team, if you are willing, can serve as reserve members to participate in the competition. Feng Qin proposed, our team wants Shang Quan Yi and Tran Huck. Liu Bo exclaimed, what? Then he explained, head teacher Ko, our team doesn't want to Yuanao. We don't need her 2 abilities, we want melee fighters. Ko Enham considered the situation. The 4 members of your team have a total of 14 abilities, half of which are mental control types, so you indeed lack melee fighters. Yuan Ao was truly upset, coming as a reserve and still being disliked. She angrily raised her voice. Liu Bao, on what basis do you say my abilities don't help your team? He showed no hesitation. Senior, it's not that I look down on you, but our team follows the strategy of rapid strike and victory, activating control and taking the opponent immediately. Your ultimate ability cannot cooperate with us at all. Our team already has a healing wind. Yuan Ao refused to yield and retorted, Junior, your strategy works against heteromorphic species, but in team battles it won't work. Yet Liu Bo did not back down. If that's the case, our 2 teams will compete. If you lose, you must voluntarily withdraw from the reserve seat. How about it? Yuan Ao accepted. Fine. The other members stood by watching the 2 argue. Feng Qin whispered to Chung Nguyen, Liu Bo is about to shake hands with Yuan Ao. He responded casually, oh, Liu Bo is a command type, with a cooperative ability, capable of randomly mimicking a target's ability through contact. Both shook hands, preparing to duel. Before the match, Liu Bo provoked. Senior, we both want to bring glory to the school. Moderation is enough. No need to harm camaraderie. Yuan Ao boldly replied, friendship first, competition second. From his perspective, Feng Qin clearly saw, judging by his bright smile, he must have activated the cooperative ability with Chang's ultimate skill. In the future, be careful, do not casually shake hands with others. While he rambled on, he received only a perfunctory response from Chung Nguyen. He reminded himself, my abilities hold too many secrets. I really cannot casually let others cooperate with them. In the blink of an eye, Yuan Ao had already knelt on the court, and Liu Bo's mocking voice rang out, Senior, are you obedient now? She could not believe the reality before her. No one on her team could break their control. They had no strength to resist in front of them. Then he arrogantly declared, Junior Chung Nguyen, come join our team, with just you. Our team can claim the championship without worry. Feng Qin spoke plainly, Chung Nguyen would be the same on our team. Liu Bo challenged us again, you don't believe me? Then if you're capable, fight us. Feng Qin silently evaluated, Liu Bo hasn't even used the cooperative ability with Chung's ultimate skill yet. He must be itching this time, and he won't fight us. See. Hung Nguyen remained silent all this time. Liu Bo, emboldened, sneered, you coward. The gap is too great. I'm not interested in bullying newcomers. Suddenly, Chung Nguyen spoke. Liu Bo, I accept your challenge. Huh. In response, Feng Qin confirmed, all right, if Nguyen wants to fight, I will match 2 moves with you. Liu Bo set the condition, if you lose, Chung Nguyen joins our team. Then Feng Qin raises the stake, if you lose, all team members must admit they are dogs. Liu Bo confidently replied, suit yourself. Chung Nguyen stepped forward to help Yuan Ao up. Senior, you stand up first. Her face flushed slightly. Clearly Chung Nguyen accepted the challenge without needing to. Could it be for me? Yuan Ao looked at the people before her, full of worry. But Liu Bo's team is so strong, can Chung Nguyen really defeat them? Liu Bo spoke. All right, then. Liu Bo loudly commanded, restrain Feng Qin first. Do not let him use rejuvenation to dispel control for others. Feng Qin looked very excited, swapped positions between me and the fat guy opposite. The poison image activated. He immediately cast magic, released a poison intoxication technique. A Shadow Knight aid, Thien Kali and Han Tite simultaneously used moves, Binding Seal, imprisoning the spirit. 2 extremely powerful streams of force were launched toward Feng Qin. Just as they were about to hit his face, he gently used a technique, exchanged positions. Lam Kine did not expect this situation. Gone. He used his last bit of hope to counterattack, a rock strike. But Feng Qin's poisonous gas was enveloping the 2 bodies. Han Tite fearfully reported, Feng Qin's position has been swapped already, cannot be controlled. Even Thien Kai beside is having difficulty. Lost sight. Cannot continue to control people anymore. Liu Bo's eyes suddenly widened. Meanwhile, Han Tite and Thien Kali had collapsed. There is poison in this fog. That shocked him. What? Moments later Liu Bo's complexion also turned pale. Only Lam Kine remained, struggling to resist. Affected by the poison intoxication technique. Once a sound is made it will be poisoned. All stood still. Do not make a sound. Chung Nguyen extinguished his last ray of hope. Too late. Your healers have lost sight. They can only protect themselves, cannot detoxify you. Your top 3 flow tactic is too easily countered. If it fails from the start, there will be no hope to turn the tide in subsequent attempts. If now he used the extreme joint vow just now to coordinate, the 3-minute champion might have a chance to trade 2 moves with me. Otherwise, without me intervening, you would already be defeated. At this point Liu Bo had to admit, indeed as he said, our greatest weakness is that if we do not eliminate in 1 round, then we will have no strength to continue. In the end he had no choice but to surrender. We admitted defeat. Immediately the poisonous gas began to fade. Liu Bo stood rooted to the spot, as if he could not accept the current reality. After a while he continued speaking. The winner, Liu Bo, was standing in front of Ian Och, Feng Qin's team, Sister 2. Sorry, earlier I should not have said that. We really need your abilities. She easily waved it off. It's okay, I didn't mind. Liu Bo bowed and said, please join our team. Quan Wai suddenly suggested, President, I want to join Liu Bo's team as a striker. Feng Qin was surprised. Why, you don't want Chung Nguyen to take you flying anymore? Quan Wai replied, I don't want to anymore. Chung Nguyen's words earlier made me realize a principle that coordination is more important than individual strength. The university tournament is both a competition and a stage to demonstrate our team spirit. He happily slung his arm over Liu Bo. The striker move taught directly by Chung Nguyen. Do you want to try it? He nodded excitedly. Yes. Feng Qin sighed and said, cooperation over competition, teamwork over individuality. Is this really your principle of being a person? Chung Nguyen exclaimed, bewildered. What? Then Feng Qin said, nothing. He had not forgotten the past. Liu Bo, if you said you lost, then you have to admit you are a dog. Of course, I will not go back on my word. Two du men, pull out our battle flag. Thien Kai behind prepared to intervene. Understood. The whole group shamefully carried out the punishment. I declare, Chung Nguyen's fans club is officially established today. From now on, we are all Chung Nguyen's ultimate simps. On the poster appeared a few lines of adoration. Chung Nguyen, peerless beauty, sweeps the whole field. You are the brightest. Feng Qin stared in disbelief. Making a show for so long. This is the real intention you used to challenge us. Chung Nguyen commented. Feng Qin, there are still many things you need to improve your strategic awareness. The crowd was extremely dense at the airport. Chung Lam looked at the photo and praised it wholeheartedly. No wonder he is my brother. Even in school uniform, he is still as handsome as ever. Chung Nguyen wanted to ask again, Lam, are you really not going to the venue to watch the competition? I just need to tell the military district and they can arrange a special seat for you. But the girl remained firm. I don't want to. I can watch the competition from afar with everyone else. Chung Lam gently stood on tiptoe. Brother, your world is too vast. Being alone in it would be very lonely. There are so many scenes in the world. Chung Nguyen was momentarily surprised by this gesture. The girl smiled sweetly. Since you're here, why not go take a look? After speaking, Chung Lam returned to his original position. Then she waved goodbye. Brother, I'm going back to the military district to celebrate the new year with Uncle Tan. While I'm not here, you have to take good care of yourself. Chung Nguyen waved back in response. Some thoughts stirred in his heart. The scenery of the world, you have already perished. Can it still be considered that you are in the human world? This made Chung Nguyen even more concerned. Feng Qin, tell me, did Lam discover something already? Feng Qin replied, discovering that you are a fake little sister. Chung Nguyen immediately objected. How am I a fake little sister? Isn't this normal sibling relationship? Feng Qin suddenly turned to look at him, making him confused. Why are you glaring at me? Then asked clearly, are you really worried or just using me for fun? Then he expressed some feelings. Honestly, the first time I met you, you were like a corpse, except for your sister. Nothing could lift your coffin lid. Until recently, when your sister wanted to be independent, self-reliant, and deliberately stayed away from you, you finally truly entered this world. I could even see the change, doesn't she see it? After speaking, he pinched Chung Nguyen's cheek hard, and he complained, we are talking, don't pinch my face. Then Feng Qin immediately questioned, your sister can pinch, but I cannot, and you still say you are not a fake little sister. Chung Nguyen had no choice but to give in. Okay, pinch him, pinch until bored, then stop. At that moment his phone rang with the familiar ringtone, and, wake up. Feng Qin quickly went outside to answer the call. Hello, Deputy Commander Ha. Ki Hai reported shocking news. Haiyan Min, 5 minutes ago, we discovered a red-level disturbance appearing in Dazin City. It will probably open in 2 hours. Chung Nguyen asked in surprise, in the city, and he confirmed, yes, we need you. Can you make a trip there? From that, Chung Nguyen calculated, I can use single-minded dual purpose, both suppress the disturbance and take the plane to Gwangyuan City. Using someone else's face at the military district is not ideal. Better to entrust someone at the district to board the plane. Because of this plan, he resolutely agreed. No problem. Wait for me a few minutes. Then Chung Nguyen hurried back to the chair, woke up, and Feng Qin helped me with something. Not sure what he was doing, but Truong Nhu was very excited. Chung Nguyen quickly grabbed the small backpack. Then he requested, emergency situation. I cannot board the plane with you in my current form. Support me. Okay, about to board. I'll hide in the backpack first and figure out the rest later. After saying that, he immediately transformed. Feng Qin quietly stood waiting for a while. After Chung Nguyen turned into a black cat, he instructed. 1 meow means yes, 2 meows mean no, for easier communication. Chung Nguyen immediately jumped into the backpack. Feng Qin commented, regarding things ordinary people cannot do, it's still only you. Denial has no effect. The coffin showed signs of being disturbed. Meanwhile, Tu was on a phone call. The transport plane will depart for Da-Zin City in 10 minutes. Everyone please be ready. Chung Nguyen once again suddenly popped out of the coffin. Deputy Commander Ha, I'm here. This sudden appearance made him startle. Oh my. Ki Hai, already familiar with the situation, remained calm. Don't be so shocked. Yunkook was still terrified. Hyen Min. He came out of the coffin. Ki Hai immediately reminded. Don't speak nonsense. This is the latest high-tech metal bed with a lid made by the Supervision Bureau. Over here, let me talk. You go get Hyen Min a set of specialized battlefield equipment for the disturbance. Tu steadied himself and acknowledged the order. Yes. Ki Hai reminded himself. Last time I was flustered by its appearance, almost thought Hyen Min wanted to send me off. I won't make the same mistake a second time. The plane had just landed on the ground. Han Uk's attention immediately fell on the blue backpack. He couldn't hide his curiosity. Feng Qin, this backpack belongs to Chung Nguyen, right? Feng Qin made up a reason. He temporarily had something to do, asked me to carry his things first. Moreover, Han Uk enthusiastically helped. The zipper of the bag came undone. Let me help you zip it up. He slowly ran the zipper down. On the other hand, Ki Hai mentioned something. Hyen Min, I remember you are used to throwing knives, right? Do you need any other close combat weapons? The moment after Chung Nguyen had already returned to his black cat form. Ki Hai's mind began to spiral. Why did Hyen Min turn into a cat? Am I having a hallucination because of too much pressure, or am I no longer in the human world? But when he opened his eyes again, he saw Chung Nguyen responding. For weapons, you can use the Crescent Moon Blade from the Extreme Dao series. Ki Hai was momentarily confused. Hyen Min, you. Chung Nguyen pretended to ask back. What's the matter? Deputy Commander Ha, are there characters on your face? Ki Hai immediately turned his face away. It's fine. I asked you two to help you bring the weapon. Then he took out a few heart-assisting pills. After that, he put them all in his mouth. The heart and eyes no longer function well. Chung Nguyen felt a bit guilty. Fortunately, he didn't scare Deputy Commander Ha enough to cause trouble. Otherwise, I would really have had to give him one of my metal coffins with a lid to sleep in. Then he pieced it together. The backpack's sealing effect is so good that when zipped up, it becomes a dark space. The shadow world determines that the entity over there is the subject, forcing me to transform into a cat here. Fortunately, I quickly unzipped it. Otherwise, I would have to explain clearly to Deputy Commander Ha. Han Uk was confused, not understanding what was happening. Why did the zipper come undone again? At that moment, the black cat's paw reached out from the backpack. Han Uk was startled and quickly stepped back. Feng Qin, you actually brought a cat onto the plane. Ko Anham reminded Feng Qin, we are going to a competition, not traveling. Why did you bring a cat? Chung Nguyen boldly poked his head out. If I'm already discovered, no worries about it falling. He immediately signaled Feng Qin, asking to confirm, are you really not pretending anymore? So Feng Qin happily revealed, Head Teacher Ko, not hiding anything, this cat is actually Chung Nguyen. Unexpectedly, Ko Anham gritted his teeth. shaking with anger. This Feng Qin, last year's competition he always caused trouble. This year just boarding the plane he deliberately pointed at the wrong target, probing my weak points. Not only that, he angrily chased, while we haven't even flown yet, immediately took that cat down. Chung Nguyen examined his own actions, thinking carefully. If the backpack can be recognized by the shadow world as a sealed space, then I can retain a bit of shadow world energy to use it as a point for instant teleportation. So there is no need to use single-minded dual purpose. Earlier it happened suddenly. I didn't have time to think. Now it's the right moment for Head Teacher Ko to chase me. Quan Wai spoke up in defense. Head Teacher Ko, Feng Qin already said this cat is Chung Nguyen. We cannot kick an important teammate off the plane. Truong Nhu agreed. What Feng Qin did is certainly Chung Nguyen's request. Absolutely not causing trouble without reason. Hanuk shouted loudly. That's right. Even though Liu Bo's group joined in, the opinion of Chung Nguyen's fan club is to support Chung Nguyen. Can Head Teacher Ko really kick such an adorable cat off the plane? I'm not a cat servant, but I think Chung Nguyen meowing makes sense. The current situation made Feng Qin feel bewildered. It's not me. My super-intelligent subordinate is normally passive. Why do they look abnormal? Seeing them instantly turn into cat servants. Nguyen is definitely cunning. Cohen Ham was left speechless. You all really understand the pointing at the wrong target trick. Moreover, Han Uk enthusiastically corrected. It's cat pointing at Nguyen. Ian Och, hearing the noise, turned to look at the black cat that Tu Nguyen met that night. Feng Qin brought it onto the plane. She softly spoke. Head Teacher Ko, sorry, this cat is my pet. Its name is Chung Nguyen. Please don't kick it off. Chung Nguyen, quickly go to sister. Actually, you really want to chase me away. Don't come here. Chung Nguyen boldly scratched continuously at Ian Och's face. Master-level fighting style. Champion meow meow technique. 20 scratches per second. She fell painfully to the floor. Damn, this cat is really Chung Nguyen. Feng Qin looked very calm. I already told you, but you didn't believe it. Cohen Ham awkwardly turned his head. Voice softened. Sorry for the trouble. Sorry for the trouble. Feng Qin, go back to your seat quickly. Remember to fasten your seatbelt, he replied. Okay. At the same time in another place, Shen Feng praised, little brother, you look gentle, yet you can wield this great sword. Chung Nguyen explained, red-level heteros usually have large sizes, so the weapons to deal with them naturally need to be as big as possible. Shen Feng, curious, asked, so you don't just know how to use one type of weapon, right? He responded coldly, almost. The people around were frantically announcing breaking news. The traffic evacuation in the southeast area has been completed. The Wu Mio unit is ready. The energy level of the disturbance fluctuates abnormally and seems to be delaying the gate opening. Shen Feng's expression showed clear concern. He had a bad premonition. Chung Nguyen did not understand why, so Shen Feng explained, when a disturbance's opening is delayed, it is usually accompanied by many unexpected situations, especially the initial fluctuation. This time is red level, extremely high risk. The news on the screen continued. The energy fluctuations of the disturbance remain abnormal. The estimated time to open will be delayed for another 2 hours. The staff reported the situation. Deputy Commander Ha, according to the latest data analysis, 66% of this disturbance is a nuclear disturbance. Ki Hai was stunned for a moment, then ordered, immediately distribute protective clothing to the front line, and simultaneously raise the civilian evacuation level by 1 step. The staff asked further, do we need 9 disturbances to assist? Ki Hai replied, no. Now he was certain of one thing. 9 disturbances were already here. On Chung Nguyen's side, he stood tall without a trace of fear. However, Chung Nguyen was curious. Nuclear disturbance, what is that? Shen Feng explained in detail. A nuclear disturbance is a disturbance contaminated by nuclear radiation. In the early years, humans had no hetero abilities, and the main way to suppress disturbances was always hot weapons, which were quite effective against yellow-level and green-level heteros, but could not break the defenses of red-level heteros. To suppress them quickly, A certain country directly dropped nuclear bombs on disturbances. The effect was so clear that the disturbance was sealed without a single hetero stepping out. Humans at that time did not know that the Chung Nguyen asked in surprise. Disturbances can reopen. That makes Shen Feng confused. I don't know. This is basic knowledge about disturbances that the school taught. Chung Nguyen immediately explained, I haven't graduated yet. Or maybe you can explain it to me first. Using his knowledge, Shen Feng said, some disturbances will open randomly and continuously within a specific geographic range. Some disturbances will continue to move around the world according to specific patterns. When a disturbance suppressed by a nuclear bomb reopens, people discover that the heteros inside had mutated due to nuclear contamination. Their basic abilities not only became stronger, but they also gained new powers. Even more frightening, nuclear contamination escapes when a nuclear disturbance opens. The radioactive contamination from the nuclear bombing will return to humanity when the nuclear disturbances reopen. Even the heteros inside will become mobile sources of contamination. People who have experienced nuclear disturbances, even if fortunate enough to survive, still suffer illnesses caused by nuclear contamination. But if we retreat, the heteros will destroy the boundaries, directly releasing contamination outside, with incalculable consequences. Hearing this, Chung Nguyen speculated, humanity must have stopped using nuclear weapons by now, right? Shen Feng nodded in confirmation. Yes, after humanity realized the danger of nuclear disturbances, countries around the world reached an agreement not to use nuclear weapons against disturbances, but some countries stubbornly knew this and still tried to act. Relying on the movement of disturbances, the danger would directly transfer to other nations. Shen Feng could not contain his anger and jumped up. These bastards were truly a disgrace to humanity. At that moment, a warning sounded from behind. An emergency announcement. The disturbance is expected to open in half an hour, and there is a 90% chance this is a nuclear contaminated disturbance. Everyone should put on protective clothing as soon as possible and be ready to fight. Chung Nguyen reviewed his actions and thought carefully. If the backpack can be recognized by the shadow world as a sealed space, then I can keep a little bit of shadow world energy to use as an instantaneous teleportation point. So there is no need to use single-minded dual purpose. Earlier the matter happened suddenly, and I did not have time to think. Now it is just when head teacher Ko is chasing me. Feng Qin held the book, University Physics. Suddenly the familiar black cat paw placed itself on the page. He had to continue. Not sleepy, so you want to read with me. Chung Nguyen pointed to a few words on the page, and Feng Qin immediately realized, you want to ask me about nuclear contamination. Chung Nguyen smiled to confirm. But Feng Qin had one worry. The book in his hand could not solve what he wanted to ask. Finally, he revealed, reincarnation at gold level Levo 3 can remove the effects of nuclear contamination on people. Hetero abilities that can handle contamination have not yet been discovered. But if it is yours, the Science Institute has studied the person you froze. Inside and outside his body are separated by hetero ability. The internal temperature is extremely close to 0 degrees. Listen seriously to the lecture. In this state, even photons are reduced to an extremely slow speed. In theory, it can temporarily freeze the ionizing radiation created by nuclear contamination. Shen Feng was now wearing protective gear and added, brother, if you do not know how to wear it, I can help you. Chung Nguyen immediately refused. No need. I do not need this. Then he contacted the command. Hyen Min called the command center, and the other side responded loudly. Speak. Chung Nguyen solemnly requested. Let everyone withdraw. I will fight the disturbance alone. This statement made Ki Hai extremely agitated. Hyen Min. The battlefield is not a game. The involvement of others will affect your use of strategy-level abilities. Chung Nguyen's tone revealed his anger. Then that is also not allowed. Ki Hai wanted him to understand one thing. If you make a mistake, the people of Dazin City will suffer the consequences. As commander, I cannot agree to such a request. However, Chung Nguyen declared with full determination, 1 minute. If I cannot finish the battle within 1 minute, you may then come to rescue. Chung Nguyen stood firm amid the chaotic shouts. Turn back quickly. This is not a place you should go. Suddenly someone panicked and realized, what? You are Hyan Min, top 2 on the youth leaderboard. The leader immediately said, Commander, a young strategy-level hetero like this cannot be allowed to fall into the disturbance. At this moment, Ki Hai was standing in the control room, monitoring via screen. He felt somewhat concerned. Although Hyan Min himself did not yet know, now the boy was already a reserve of 9 disturbances. If it really comes to command rights, the boy is on the same level as me. Although the heteros in the disturbance are unusually strong, their number is small. If the boy's cunning has an effect, he could indeed fight the disturbance alone. Furthermore, the records show the boy has gold level reincarnation level 4, so he is not afraid of nuclear contamination. Shortly after, at the scene of the ruins, an announcement sounded, everyone obey orders, fully cooperate with Hyan Min's actions. Hyan Min, once you arrive, directly use your strategy level ability on the heteros. If it does not work, immediately retreat and wait for reinforcement. Chung Nguyen's eyes were sad, but his tone was very decisive. Understood. The sound continued, starting the Wu Mayo point replication of terrain completed. Successfully pulled the disturbance into the Wu Mayo area. Detected nuclear contamination and intensity 37% higher than predicted. The Wu Mayo area continued to be damaged by ionizing radiation, expected to last 16 hours. Chung Nguyen stood silently observing. A few kilometers from the disturbance was the restricted zone. Space was distorted. All hetero abilities lost effect, if acting had to wait for heteros to come out first. Suddenly, a gruesome monster poked its head out. In less than 3 seconds, he recognized it. This is the one-eyed fierce elephant that only Dang Thap Nation had. No, they have mutated. Now should be called Nine-Eyed Fierce Elephant. It placed its heavy body on the ground, then raised its chin and roared terrifyingly. At this moment, a pair of wings appeared on Chung Nguyen's back, lifting him into the air. This was Chung Nguyen's sovereign of the Abyss technique. His body floated, then landed again. He directed the palm of his hand, radiating purple spiritual energy towards the nine-eyed fierce elephant. Super cute. To counterattack, it struck the ground with its trunk, then threw it into the air. Chung Nguyen quickly dodged and noted, cunning has no effect. No, the hetero feedback felt completely subdued. But its emotions were filled with anguish and discomfort, unable to communicate. Time was critical. Just kill it directly. In less than a second, he used extreme cold to freeze the nine-eyed fierce elephant. The consumption of eternal ice abyss was quite high. Extreme cold below its level only affects a single target, with similar effect but much less energy cost. Under the transparent ice layer, the wide open pupil of the creature could be clearly seen. Fearing it would struggle again, Chung Nguyen quickly soared upward and raised his weapon, mentally reciting Grandmaster Combat, Blood Debt Repaid, Piercing Strike. The red level hetero is indeed fierce. Extreme cold could not hold it, and still had to kill it with physical force. In an instant, nothing remained in front of him except the streak of light created by his slash. As the ice was about to melt, Chung Nguyen had successfully struck it down in time. He intentionally paused, turning coldly to look at the defeated creature. Then, Chung Nguyen quickly went on to deal with the remaining ones, each decisive strike cutting down the massive bodies of the surviving elephants. There were 2 left, doing the same. A moment later, Superior Ki Hai urgently ordered Hyan Min, 1 minute is up, report the situation. He lightly pressed the earpiece and reported a total of 3 nine-eyed fierce elephants, all eliminated. The other side was slightly surprised. Ah, very good. Your mission is complete. The reconnaissance team will continue to monitor the disturbance. The logistics team prepared for handling contamination. But Chung Nguyen resolutely refused. Contamination is also part of the disturbance. I said solo fight is solo fight. After hanging up, he immediately controlled the thermal pressure to sweep through every corner. Extreme cold truly could freeze the contamination, but only temporarily. To completely eliminate the pollution, it was still necessary to withdraw energy from the air. Even those wearing protective suits could not hide their astonishment at this phenomenon. The ionizing radiation that eroded the Wu Mayo area had disappeared. The contamination indices at all monitoring points had dropped to the lowest levels. Both wind and explosions were occurring. What exactly is Hyen Min doing? It's over. The disturbance has closed. No further problems remained. Chung Nguyen calmly reported the results of today's mission. The disturbance in Da Xin City had been successfully suppressed. Inside the control room, Lao Kai could not hide his astonishment as he turned to look at Ki Hai, reporting, "Commander, the suppression of the disturbance in Da Xin City has concluded. It took a total of 6 minutes and 23 seconds, 0 casualties and 0 contamination leaks, directly breaking Buyu's fastest record." Liu Bo was extremely excited. A miracle. Hyen Min has created a miracle again. His eyes lit up with a smile. Although he had guessed Hyen Min had many trump cards, wasn't this a bit too showy? Being able to fly is one thing, but cleaning up nuclear contamination too is possible. Returning safely, the trio of brothers, Thien Kai, Mao Ai, and Trine Hong, hugged each other crying and celebrating. "I almost thought today I'd have to sacrifice for the country. Although I am not afraid of death, living is still better. Like for the goddess of luck, like for Hyen Min." At that moment, the pilot turned to ask, "Hyen Min, you were in radiation for so long. Are you really okay?" Chung Nguyen smiled gently and reassured. "My reincarnation level is very high." He kindly reminded again, "You can't neglect health issues. You should still go to the hospital for a checkup." But he firmly refused. Really no need. When the plane returned to base, Chung Nguyen proactively went ahead of everyone, briefly greeted Ha Commander, then found an excuse to leave, and afterwards went to the university tournament hall. As he entered, a few people were already waiting. Among them a tall woman hurriedly approached Nguyen. Chung Nguyen looked up with a puzzled expression. "Who is she? Why did this person call me Nguyen as soon as she arrived?" The other's beautiful face broke into a bright smile. She was Feng Qin's mother, Truck Trin. He immediately understood and hurriedly replied, "Hello, Mrs. Feng." She kept smiling and said, "Your son said you are very capable. Seeing is better than hearing 100 times." Lao Kami stood there shrugging with a faint smile. "Director Feng, Hyen Min just finished fighting. You should let him rest on the way." Truck Trin patted Chung Nguyen's shoulder, nodding repeatedly. Yes, Nguyen, let's go eat and then rest. The car is waiting outside." But he deliberately pretended to be tired and complained to her, "Mrs. Feng, maybe you let me change clothes first. Wearing this to eat feels a bit awkward." Truck Trin still smiled with eyes crinkling. "Such a handsome young man. Just looking at him you can tell he fits perfectly in our Science Institute's special uniform." The atmosphere between the two was peaceful when, on another side, Kai Tu widened his eyes and spoke sternly. "Ha Commander, you said letting a juvenile psychic deal with nuclear contamination would be tried by the military court." He straightforwardly refuted. "The boy has reincarnation." Hearing the other's stubborn tone, Ki Hai recounted. 3 years ago, the Althan stone cavern of Dang Thap Kwok fell. The mutants were contaminated and destroyed the barrier, harming tens of thousands of ordinary people. I could not sit idly by and watch the same happen in Da Xin City. Executing high-difficulty missions is the responsibility of Cuckoo. If you simply wanted to protect the boy, you would not let him be the 8th person, right? Kai Tu was not persuaded by these arguments. He candidly warned, "Now the boy is still a reserve. Any transfer before becoming official must have my approval. This time I will not pursue it. But there will be no next time." A while later, Chung Nguyen was officially given his nameplate. Chung Nguyen, Honorary Academician of the Natural Science Academy of Hoa Quoc, Research Branch. Now you and Truck Trin were sitting in the cafeteria chatting. Chung Nguyen took the initiative to speak first. "Mrs. Feng, the honor of this honorary academicianship of mine is surely not the kind of recognition that's just for research, right?" she exclaimed in surprise. "Listen to the way you say it. The Science Academy isn't supposed to be such a scary place. Today's technology is so advanced that we can clearly see the internal structure without having to cut someone into pieces." He anxiously stood up. "Can I still make it in time?" Truck Trin calmly said. "It's too late. Your achievement in using psychic power to eliminate nuclear contamination has already been recognized, worthy of being honored as an honorary academician. Chung Nguyen was still puzzled and asked further, "Is it because of this?" She gently picked up a piece of food with her chopsticks and quickly added, "Ever since the emergence of the Hatch Dong, the people of the Science Academy have never stopped conducting related research. Many hypotheses and theories have been proposed, but there are few who could verify them." He shyly explained, "The reason was Feng Qin who told me. I only practiced it." Truck Trin did not believe him, her hands deftly picking up food for Chung Nguyen while praising, "Don't be so modest. Reasoning and practice are equally important. You shouldn't refuse credit for your achievements, and if you can't finish the food, even if there's leftovers, don't put them back on the plate." Afterwards, she returned to a serious expression yet still exuded kindness, advising him, "If those who come later see you have accomplishments but aren't recognized, they will lose motivation to participate in scientific research. After all, in this world, there are more people pursuing fame and profit than those pursuing truth." After lunch, Truck Trin led Chung Nguyen into the experiment display room and continued lecturing. Nguyen, look, this is the ancient Roman 11 leme that you tamed on Niu Dao Mountain, and also the devil-eyed ladybug that you caught from those mercenaries, which has been kept at the Science Academy after investigation. The documents you extracted have already helped us solve 3 important problems. The person frozen into an ice block is still on the experiment table. The ability you use to eliminate nuclear contamination is different from the ability to freeze people. You have to be smart. Let me guess. It is an ability after the evolution process of super-level empathy. Hearing her speak so fluently, he couldn't suppress his curiosity. "Mrs. Feng, how much do you know about my ability?" Truck Trin frankly told Chung Nguyen, "Well, to be honest, as long as it is an ability you left in the data records, in my eyes it is not a secret. Actually, you don't need to worry. People of a lower rank than me cannot access your data. The secrets within you could become the key for humanity to solve the mysteries of psychic power. As long as you are willing to help us, no matter the price, we can accept it." He seriously asked her again, "Your price is not completely without limits, right?" Truck Trin, walking, slightly turned her head to look at him with meaning. "The final limit is, the ultimate result must benefit humanity. Helping is fine, selling yourself is not. Not even a single hair can be sold." "Then you tell me, after reincarnation and evolution, what will it become? Can it heal other people, right?" Upon hearing this question, Chung Nguyen's expression fell. So Commander and hadn't told her yet. She was slightly jealous, speaking in a pouty tone, "So you told Commander and already?" He admitted frankly, "It's actually a long story." Hearing that, Truck Trin quickly interrupted, then didn't say it. Then she happily raised the photo of the 9-eyed fierce elephant. "The corpse of the 9-eyed fierce elephant you just killed has been delivered. While it's still warm, no, while it's still cold, can you help me with the experiment?" At this moment, the researchers surrounded the monster's body to examine it, and Chung Nguyen stood outside asking, "Mrs. Feng, are you sure that if I use the life authority on them, it can not only eliminate contamination within their bodies, but also resurrect them?" Truck Trin answered briefly, "Theoretically, it's feasible. You didn't use thermal overpressure on them because the consumption is too great to bear, right?" He admitted without hesitation, "Yes, in practical operations, thermal overpressure can convert matter into energy and be absorbed until completely destroyed. But this method consumes too much, so I only use it to remove contamination in the air." She smiled and continued, "Thermal overpressure, eternal ice domain, life authority, immunity to death, blood ice fury. These 5 abilities come from the snow mist serpent. Although their forms differ, they share many similarities in physical changes. If the power of reincarnation acts directly on unstable atomic nuclei, it can cause their decay process to release immediately like blood ice fury, and the radiation particles will be completely destroyed as if hit by thermal overpressure. Moreover, the near absolute zero freezing state halts the process from life to death, and activating reincarnation at this time produces an effect similar to immunity to death." Chung Nguyen's eyes widened with amazement. In short, I just needed to activate life authority, right? Truck Trin raised both hands to press a stream of force onto the nine-eyed fierce elephant's body and simultaneously replied to him, correctly. In the blink of an eye, it had completely returned to its original intact form before the astonished eyes of the researchers. Success, fully revived, and the contamination eliminated. Our theory was correct. Chung Nguyen stood neatly in one spot observing and reflecting. The abilities of the snow mist serpent could actually have such an effect. This is truly life and death authority. He did not hesitate to approach the nine-eyed fierce elephant, patting it and smiling kindly. The semi-savage power had not disappeared at all. She continued talking. Nguyen, this time you have made another great achievement. Have you thought about what reward you want? Chung Nguyen replied immediately without thinking. I want access to information related to Kunang at the Science Institute. Truck Trin responded decisively, no problem. After stepping outside, he felt a bit impatient. Having been delayed for half a day, the registration for the tournament could not wait any longer. Kai too was already waiting outside. Seeing Chung Nguyen come out, he immediately called Chung Nguyen little brother. He smiled lightly and replied, Uncle Kai. Kai too spoke very sincerely. My shabby office is right next door. Come have a cup of tea. But Chung Nguyen waved his hand to refuse. Next time, I still have to compete in the university tournament. Today is only registration and demonstration. He glanced lightly at him from behind, deliberately hinting, I have handled your certification information. You can let any cat or dog sign it for you. Chung Nguyen did not show any extreme reaction, only smiled faintly. Cat or dog, all right, if you dare say it, I dare find one. The scene shifted to the meeting between the two representatives, Lieutenant Colonel Ko. This time the Chang'an Academy. You have achieved excellent results in the hunt in the Fuong realm. I don't know how many people were wide-eyed in astonishment. Ko Enham laughed heartily and humbly replied, it was all normal performance. The other party then took the initiative and said, no more talking. Please invite your students to sign. Liu Bak raised his hand to attract attention. All staff lined up by grade, higher grades in front, lower grades behind, and began signing. One by one they stepped forward, and of course, familiar faces were not missing. The person at the procedure counter announced loudly, face verification successful. Please sign, signature verification successful. Please place your finger on the fingerprint sensor. One by one they continued to complete the steps. A moment later, the guide's voice was still heard. Feng Qin, fingerprint authentication successful. After finishing, he began to think. Registration required face recognition, signature, and fingerprint verification. Nguyen dares to tell me to coordinate with him using a black cat to register. Surely someone must have helped him change the authentication information. Could it be Uncle Kai? A little later, Tu Hao announced the next member, Truong Nhu. Fingerprint authentication successful. Only Chung Nguyen had not registered yet. Chung Nguyen, here. But instead of him, his manifestation appeared, a black cat. Chung Nguyen suddenly leapt forward, startling Tu Hao, who shouted, what is that? He brought his face close to the camera. A beep sounded. Face verification successful. This terrified the other party. What? Then, Chung Nguyen used his mouth to hold the pen and sign on the screen, and unexpectedly, the computer announced signature verification was successful. Next, he pressed his tiny paw on the screen. Fingerprint verification successful. He had witnessed the entire process and was now petrified, his pupils not even moving. Chung Nguyen happily jumped up in the same direction as Feng Qin and Truong Nhu. Registration complete. Let's go upstairs to store our luggage. At that moment, Tu Hao ran after anxiously calling, wait, Chung Nguyen is also participating in the tournament. Right, there must have been a machine issue just now. He explained on behalf of the young man. The fact that this cat could pass verification means that the data management system behind it recognized it as Chung Nguyen. It's best he think carefully about the consequences before interfering with someone else's affairs. Tu Hao, hearing this, did not dare to make things more difficult, but inwardly he was far from comfortable. not only letting a cat sign in place of a person, but also using authority to... Tonight's exhibition match. I will show you what it means to respect heaven and earth. Feng Qin and Chung Nuyen were in a large room with 2 small bedrooms. He took the initiative to say, Nuyen, I'll put your luggage here. If anything happens, come find me in the adjacent room. Right? What else? If Kai Tu bullies you, then you tell him. Hearing that, Chung Nuyen froze in place, not moving a muscle. He stared at the cup of tea being poured and thought in confusion. I've never revealed any secrets to Feng Qin. Yet he not only guessed that I can transform into 2, but also guessed that my partial form is sitting with Kai Tu. This reasoning ability is as exaggerated as Miss Feng. At that moment, Kai Tu smiled kindly and said, Chung Nuyen, Feng Qin said you are a minor and cannot drink alcohol, so I'll take the initiative to serve tea instead of wine. Chung Nuyen replied respectfully, That's fine, sir. Your initiative is not limited to just one matter. Kai Tu noticed the hidden meaning in that sentence. His expression immediately became serious. What are you talking about? Chung Nuyen smiled lightly and replied, About transferring my file to 9 Void. You look very surprised. You haven't told Feng Qin about this. How do I know? He calmly replied, I told Lieutenant General Ha. Lieutenant General Ha is a conservative man, angered when seeing the coffin, so he is also strict with military law. But under the circumstance that he did not fully understand my abilities, he not only allowed me to face the H letter 1EA1CHD stroke letter 189NG, but also agreed to let me fight alone. This already explains many things. In-game Thak, ranked 150th in the youth leaderboard, is the person you sent to probe my abilities, right? Of course, relying on his one-sided words is not enough. So during the Golden Week, you called Feng Qin back to the capital. If I'm not mistaken, Feng Qin once advised you not to entice me. When saying this, Chung Nuyen finally looked away. After all, what I hate most is people who take it upon themselves to decide someone else's life. Chung Nuyen's unusually tense demeanor made Kai Tu anxious. Oh no, my quietly transferring the boy's file has clearly made him angry. A strategy level hetero this powerful. If he resents 9 Void, the consequences would be unimaginable. He suppressed his discomfort and sipped his tea leisurely. After a moment, he lowered his voice ashamedly and could not look Chung Nuyen in the eye. About transferring the file, I apologize. Although his tone carried a self-satisfied smile, it remained measured. Uncle Kai, do not be so tense. I still love peace. At least for now, I have no intention of using violence to level 9 Void's Institute. I know what you worry about. My power far exceeds human limits. Very few can threaten me. Nuclear bombs still have 2 keys, but a power stronger than a nuclear bomb is in my hands. No one can feel safe. Actually, my weakness is obvious. If not blind, it can be seen. You should not therefore go bother her. Moral integrity matters. Speak. If you are stopping me from competing just to drink tea, then what else do you want to say? Kai Tu embarrassedly could only say, I have said everything. What more can I say? But then he lowered his voice as if teasing. Well then, Kai Tu pushed a card in front of him, which made Chung Nuyen curious. What's this? On the card it read, Position 8-9 Void. He closed his eyes, then leisurely explained. The certificate for Position 8 of 9 Void can be used to resolve all the problems you encounter, although on paper you are still the 8th reserve of 9 Void. The real authority is no different from being officially transferred. As long as you retain the reserve title, the military district has no right to bypass me to assign tasks to you directly. He stared at the words on the card without looking away. Then he leaned close to Kai Tu with a mischievous smile and said, I understand, but what about this photo? Kai Tu humorously leaned in close and whispered, This is a choice I carefully considered. It has strategic significance to deceive 9 Void. There are 9 people in total, each deliberately exposing traits to the outside, conveniently using rumors to create an image that terrifies the enemy. The characteristic of Position 8 is mysterious and unpredictable. No one can truly kill him. Chung Nuyen clicked his tongue in exasperation. The rules at 9 Void are indeed numerous and bewildering. Kai Tu then raised his voice slightly to emphasize. You don't need He probably did not expect Chung Nguyen to be so straightforward, so he froze, unsure what to say. Chung Nguyen deliberately put on a stern face as if threatening. Now I work full-time for you, salary, annual leave, social insurance, allowances. Surely there must be something. His eyes went wide. 5,000 per month, 120 days of annual leave, 5 types of insurance and a housing fund. All allowances calculated according to the highest national standards. How do you feel? Chung Nguyen then asked another important question. What about my school registration? He knew him well and replied quickly. Your registration remains unchanged. It will not delay you from protecting your sister at school. So Chung Nguyen happily took the card and stood up. I accept this. Just make sure it works. And one more thing. Don't call me little brother. I don't like being your younger sibling. Kai too hesitated a bit. Let Feng Qin have him call me uncle. It doesn't really matter. Now he no longer cared about propriety and argued back sharply. I see that Miss Feng values me quite a lot. Could it be that Feng Qin telling me to call you uncle or father or whatever is all fine? Their conversation ended. Chung Nguyen used one mind two uses to dispel, returning to his usual human form. As soon as he got back, Chung Nguyen sat down to ponder a few things, leaving clothes and items imbued with the aura of the dark world so that he could directly teleport them into the golden coffin. And when needed, project them instantly, which was quite convenient. As for being discovered by others knowing instant teleportation, today Hyen Min was working in Upper Capital City. What does that have to do with my Chung Nguyen? A moment later, the door opened. Feng Qin, Zhang Rui, and Han were all there together. He asked first, for tonight's exhibition match, the organizers will have us compete against the Feng Long team. Have you seen the announcement? Chung Nguyen quickly replied, yes, and especially emphasized that substitutions are not allowed. Even if the black cat registered, it must enter the field. She also added, after all, the results of the exhibition match don't count for points, so playing with them is fine. Just then, Chung Nguyen walked in. I've been waiting for tonight's exhibition match. Han saw him and teased, who are you? Isn't Chung Nguyen the black cat? Zhang Rui chimed in, Feng Qin's cat has turned into a person. Even he, usually aloof, teased a bit, Nguyen, tonight you'd better honestly be a cat. Chung Nguyen's face went blank amid his friends' enthusiastic inquiries. By evening, the stadium was already filled with cheers and excited faces. The host's introduction added to the lively opening of the match. Good evening, audience. Welcome to the University Ku Nang Jia Tournament of 2043. This tournament will be broadcast live to all military regions and major universities. The young woman raised her voice to introduce herself. I am McTrin Van. The young man beside her also added, I am Kuk Sin, a senior commander of the Southern Military Region. This tournament will be commentated by the two of us, witnessing the wonderful moments of the contestants together with everyone. Next was the opening exhibition match of this tournament. On defense was the Feng Long team, active Ku Nang Jia of the Southern Military Region, led by Vu Mak, the main player accompanied by 2 assistants and 1 healer, intending to use the 3-protect-1 strategy. The challenging team was Feng Qin's team from Than An Academy. During their hunt in Fuongjoy, they had captured 86,619 Ku Tin. This achievement was truly amazing, already attracting attention before the match began. He looked at the number of black uniformed team members and was slightly surprised. Feng Qin's team entering the field had only 3 people and a black cat. Even she was slightly sweating. In front of them were 3 people entering the field. In order they were Feng Qin the healer, Okan the control specialist, Zhang Rui the support specialist, and their main player was Chung Nguyen, according to the latest information. A person raised a sign. Trin Van also looked and said, Contestant Chung Nguyen cannot participate in the opening match due to special reasons. He did not even have time to register. Than An Academy used a black cat to register for him. According to her introduction, Chung Nguyen flicked his tail and slid down to conveniently appear to everyone. According to the rules of this tournament, the black cat that registered had to enter the opening match. The player in the form of a black cat, an excited audience member, cupped his face and exclaimed, "So cute, my dream cat has come true." The girl next to him looked at him with a disdainful gaze, stopping showing off like a pet cat. Thien Sok crossed his arms with a skeptical expression and said, "Is this the organizers intentionally causing trouble?" Ku En-han lifted his chin a little proudly. "After all, it is just an exhibition match. Anything goes." He still expressed disappointedly, "It is a pity that Chung Nguyen is not on the field." At this moment, Feng Qin deliberately glanced to one side. His eyes were precisely on the captain of the opposing team, Vu Mak, who did not seem like someone who would voluntarily register for the exhibition match. He must have appeared here for another purpose. Knowing himself and knowing the enemy, 100 battles, 100 victories, Feng Qin did not bother keeping the advancing opponent at a distance. "Brother Feng, long time no see." He did not bother to smile or respond in return and directly asked, "Why has Hien Min not arrived yet?" He looked at the black cat waving its paw and said, "Why is he not here? Hien Min is here." After that, Vu Mak stepped forward to shake hands with Feng Qin and warned, "Forget it. If you don't come, you don't come. I'll tell you in advance, I won't go easy just because you have few people." He was usually taciturn, so he only replied briefly, "All right." But at this moment, looking closely, he was deliberately passing a piece of paper to Feng Qin. His eyes began to show suspicion, and since it was also time for the match, no further questions could be asked. Trin Van enthusiastically continued the commentary. The two teams coincidentally formed a 1-2-1 formation. The vanguard of Feng Qin's team was a black cat contestant. If the Fong Long team killed this cute cat, they would surely be condemned by all cat lovers. Kuk Sin was also eagerly anticipating. Than an Academy always comes up with amazing tactics, truly eye-opening. At this moment he was extremely worried. His to Enhat made all depletion strategies meaningless. If Vu Mak wanted to win, he could only use Anbok to throw everyone off the field. As long as Zhang Rui used Huang Dok Mi Vu to block the light, Anbok would lose. Then Feng Qin suddenly looked down at Chung Nguyen and smiled. Nguyen, look at Vu Mak bullying the fewer against the many. Do you want to teach him a lesson?" Chung Nguyen beamed brightly. All 4 short legs decisively stepped forward with a meow at the tip of his mouth. Then he started enthusiastically arranging positions. "All right, stay in your position and don't move. Prepare claws, Ukhan, later no matter who Vu Mak attacks. Swap the positions of the person hit and the cat for me." He immediately took a running start and said, "All right, got it. I'll follow your orders." Zhang Rui also asked excitedly, "And what about me?" He replied briefly, "Improvise as needed." This made her very displeased. How could it be like that? At this moment, the pale yellow flag was raised. The referee's loud shout rang out. Both sides prepared. Countdown, 3, 2, 1. The roar reverberated, stirring the atmosphere. The match began. Just as the shout ended, Vu Mak coiled one leg and launched toward the opposing team. His wide eyes radiated determination, constantly probing the opponent's strength. Feng Qin's to Enhat was too strong. He could only knock the remaining 2 off the field to reduce their numbers. Chuk Fuck, Fong Tuk, Tang Tok, Tin Bitch. His own body attacked Ukhan while Anbok struck Zhang Rui. He had already anticipated this, reminding himself in his mind. Now, Vu Mak raised his staff to strike when Chung Nguyen suddenly leaped to block the way. Small in size, but with piercing bright eyes carrying abundant spiritual energy in his body, he forced Vu Mak to change direction. Unafraid, Mio Thien Mio Dia, me wildly, never stopping until death. When his tiny short feet struck Vu Mak's cheek, in his mind he joyfully exclaimed, "Undefeated meow meow fist." What was thought to be a mere tease unexpectedly sent him flying high into the air in an instant. Their match was broadcast live on TV, and the officials were intently listening to the commentator. The undefeated Meow Meow Fist directly made Vu Mak unable to fight. The Fong Long team lost. The Feng Qin team won. Was this ultimately the invincible strength of the Black Cat, or Vu Mak's performance technique even surpassing Andy? Just now, the Hoa Nam Military District had issued a psychological assessment report on Vu Mak. It turned out he had suffered from a fear of cats for many years, fainting at the sight of one. Trine Hong laughed gleefully. Among so many exhibition matches, this year's match had the best effect. Meanwhile, Chung Lam seemed sad. She lowered her head and did not look up even though her brother's team had won. Chung Lam stood for a moment and then silently left the screening room. After a while, she was seen wandering on the street. Even here she could still hear the commentator through the passerby's phone. The Black Cat contestant had played a strategic role in this match and was a very deserving MVP. After walking a bit further, a foot suddenly appeared, deliberately stopping in front of her and even clearly called out her full name, Chung Lam. She immediately recognized the caller as Dong Luong. Seeing him here, she was slightly surprised and softly exclaimed, "Uncle Lam." Dong Luong directly asked the question he was puzzled about. "What happened with your brother? He kept saying he wanted to enter the top 10 in the individual competition. Yet the opening match was negative and timid, even finding a cat to fight instead." So the reason she was so sad was because of this, and his question made Chung Lam feel even more uneasy. "My brother isn't that kind of person, he isn't." Dong Luong, unaware of the full situation, scolded her harshly. If he has made a mistake, he should admit and correct it instead of making excuses here. Chung Lam panicked and could only say one word, "Uncle." The tense atmosphere escalated when a sudden shout rang out, "Dong Luong!" When she turned her head, Trine Hong leapt high, preparing to dive toward him with his mouth shouting, "I've held back for too long." Dong Luong didn't even have time to react before he was met with a punch. Not stopping at just one punch, he then seemed to go mad, continuously punching him in the face, punching and cursing fiercely. In the end, what had Hyen Min's brothers done to provoke him to bite so hard and not let go? When teaching, he had made me miss the chance to ask Hyen Min for guidance, and now this too. Dong Luong cupped his swollen cheek, looked up with a wronged expression, and asked, "Hyen Min, what are you saying? Isn't Chung Lam's brother?" At this moment, the girl also panicked and shouted, "Hyen Min, the one Uncle Trine mentions every day, is actually my brother." Trine Hong froze, looking embarrassed at her, and replied, "I don't know. No, not. Anyway, your brother is Hyen Min. Hyen Min is indeed your brother." By now he had stood up and immediately spoke boldly. "Currently Chung Nguyen already has a military rank. Even more so, it is not appropriate." He was skilled in both martial arts and sharp-tongued, retorting immediately, "How Hyen Min fights has nothing to do with you. The moral binding trick," Dong Luong immediately rebutted. "Trine Hong, you attacked someone over personal grudges, seriously violating military discipline." Their loud shouting attracted passers-by. "What's going on? Is someone fighting?" Chung Lam, scared, could only use her voice to intervene. Don't fight anymore." At the height of the commotion, fortunately, Tai Ka appeared. She strictly commanded, "Stop immediately for me." Dong Luong and Trine Hong, like engines had been turned on, immediately let go and stood watching when they heard her voice. Tai Ka then turned slightly, kneeling beside her, and looked down to comfort the girl. "It's okay, Chung Lam, don't be afraid. What happened? Can you tell me?" Afterwards, the two sat on the rooftop talking, and when she heard the story she could not help but exclaim, "How could this happen when they just enrolled?" The girl sadly recounted, "Although Uncle Lam has prejudices against my brother, he did nothing wrong. It's just that I had a physical problem that disrupted his arrangements." Upon hearing this, Tai Ka's anger flared. She ranted, "What do you mean nothing wrong? What he violated is Article 262 of the Criminal Code, the crime of fraud and kidnapping children. Even if your brother studies with you, he would still have to be convicted of intentional wrongdoing." Chung Lam lowered her head, wanting to dismiss it, or just let it go. Tai Ka sighed in frustration. "Why are all your siblings like this? Is enduring and tolerating inherent in people from Thuongdong?" The girl then confided the reason to her. "Uncle Lam also acted for recruiting talents for the country. He also gave me precious cur gems. Even if we investigate carefully, we cannot know who owes whom." By this point, Chung Lam's face no longer showed any sadness, her innocent eyes shining with joy. The most important thing is that my brother already made a prior agreement with him. As long as my brother reaches the top 10 in the individual competition of the university tournament, Taika, although still not completely at ease, chose to go along with Chung Lam's wishes. Alright, if Hyen Min has decided this way, I will not say anything more. The girl looked at her and smiled with emotion. Yes, thank you Taika. A few minutes passed. She kept sitting and watching Chung Lam. Dong Luong usually seeks people with Kunang talent among ordinary people. Maybe he will even do some evil things. Wait until he resolves his grudges with the Hyen Min siblings. Then see if I will expose all his tricks. At that moment, the girl suddenly exclaimed, right. The matter of discovering that Hyen Min is really her brother. Do not tell him. Tai Ka stood up while giving Chung Lam a suspicious look. Do your siblings like to hide things from each other? The girl forced a smile and tried to explain, yes, siblings. Anyway, not allowed to tell. Seeing the girl flustered, she sighed and said, alright, I will not tell. Alright, it is very late now, I will go first. You should rest early too. Chung Lam obediently waved and said, yes. When Tai Ka had left and disappeared from sight, the girl's arms dropped limply. Chung Lam gently raised her head to look at the night sky where a crescent moon hung, sending her thoughts into it. Foolish brother, are you afraid that I will see a side of you that is not gentle? The girl stared blankly for a long while. Then she lowered her head silently, forgetting it. I also do not have the right to tell you. Anyway, I am the same, afraid you will see a side of me that is not gentle. After thinking for a while, Chung Lam took her phone out of her pocket intending to do something. She tapped into the chat frame with Chung Nguyen. Each finger tapped on the screen, producing a few beeping sounds. Brother, the championship cup of the university tournament is so beautiful. Can you bring it home for me? Just a few seconds later, she received a message and smiled happily. Chung Nguyen did not hesitate to reply immediately to his younger sister. No problem. I will bring both home for you, one to tie your hair and one to clip your hair. Chung Lam curiously asked, brother, that black cat is actually yours, right? Keeping a cat is fine, but it must be bathed every day, not using your mouth to smell the cat. He was a little stunned when he read those lines. Less than a second later, that face showed a trace of confusion. Lam actually does not hate my cat form. Is it because of the influence of Superban Man? Or is it because she is afraid to hurt my feelings that she said that? Even if I ask, Lam will only say she does not hate cats. Better not to ask. Now, there is another matter that needs to be resolved quickly. As soon as he opened the window, Chung Nguyen transformed into a black cat and dashed outside like flying. He stood at Feng Qin's window. At that moment he was reading a book, and Chung Nguyen meowed from outside. Feng Qin looked up and ordered, knock on the door. Even though you are not a person right now, you still have to knock. He transformed back into his human form, walked straight inside and teased a little, emphasizing, knocking like this? Are you reading a dark book or something? He replied frankly, Chung Nguyen, do you want to read a serious and proper orthopedic medical book? He still argued back mischievously, proper book, you are not proper. After teasing each other for a while, Chung Nguyen became serious again. Alright, you didn't close the window. Doesn't that mean you guessed I would come? What did the paper Vu Mac gave you say? Quickly show me. Feng Qin did not try to hide. He opened the paper fully and handed it to him. Here, the content inside is a meeting appointment. Tonight at 12 o'clock at the Bakenje Tavern. In the evening, Vu Mac had arrived at the tavern and was waiting. At exactly 12 o'clock, he and Chung Nguyen entered the room he had prepared and greeted. Fong Hein, we have arrived. Feng Qin deliberately asked teasingly, not daring to call on the phone. Using this method to make an appointment with us again. What's going on? Vu Mac seemed to have something on his mind. He kept his head down and replied, let's go somewhere else to talk. So they moved to the Kothan Ha garden. He showed a clearly annoyed attitude. Very well, you changed to that insane, wild dance hall. Soon won't some skinny beauty rise from a coffin and dance with us? Chung Nguyen was also stunned and commented, this really is a transcendent experience. But it didn't stop there. Both their faces darkened even more when Vumak added, "The guard at the cemetery isn't there, so we'll climb over the wall to enter." Feng Qin looked disappointed and asked sarcastically, "Hey, Nguyen, one day when I come to your house, will you give me a transcendent experience like this too?" Chung Nguyen mischievously argued back, "Come on. When you fall asleep, I'll hammer 7 copper nails into you, ensuring you'll become as hard to wake as me." He led the way for the two of them. After a while, Chung Nguyen anxiously asked, "How much longer do we have to go?" Vumak then said, "It's just ahead." At this moment he didn't know if it was real or fake and twisted his hands and legs while yelling, Nguyen, protect me." Chung Nguyen, knowing clearly, coldly said, "Don't play around." Finally, he stopped in front of a grave and announced, "We're here." When Chung Nguyen looked at the tombstone, he immediately widened his eyes. "This is," Vumak automatically continued, "my older brother's grave. On the tomb are the 2 words Deep Chan." On the tombstone was a black and white photo of a young man wearing glasses, hair neatly combed, and a face that exuded seriousness and dignity. A memory from long ago was replayed. That day Vumak had panicked and ran toward the person who was now in the grave. "Deep Chan, you already know me. You already know everything. I am your older brother." At that time he was sitting on a stone bench reading a book. Hearing those words, Deep Chan was displeased and hurriedly closed the book. Then he stood up and turned his back as if he did not want to look at Vumak, even though he was sincerely trying to persuade him. "Over the years, the Feng family has wronged me. I apologize to you on their behalf. Come back, older brother." He did not turn his head, but just asked back sharply, "Letting me return to the Feng family is your unilateral thought, right?" Vumak was momentarily struck to the core and stammered, "You." Although Deep Chan did not look, his eyes showed no judgment, only reminding him, "If you cannot do it, then do not make promises lightly." When returning to the Feng family mansion, Vumak continued to persuade his family, "Deep Chan is so outstanding. Whether in study or combat, he is better than you. The same blood flows in him as in you. Why does father not accept him?" Feng Tu sat on the sofa with arms crossed stubbornly, received it. "You do not know that your mother almost harmed you." Vumak firmly defended Deep Chan to the end. His mother was wrong. Why should he bear it? "Your mother told you everything. That year, because she could not give birth, your father found a surrogate. After giving birth, your mother was brought back to the Feng family. Later, you were born and father directly expelled them from the family. Clearly, father was wrong first. Both are father's children. Why does he show favoritism?" He angrily scolded Vumak straight to his face. "Clarify your stance first, then speak. You are the legitimate heir of the Feng family. He staying in the Feng family only threatens your position." But he did not let that pile of property blind him. He even rebutted, "Some stance, some clan. I do not understand. I do not need to be the heir of the Feng family either." Feng Tu thought Vumak was too stubborn and headstrong, so he threatened, "Very well. If you are capable, do not eat the food of the Feng family. Do not live in the house of the Feng family. Let us see how many days you can survive." That night, the rain poured heavily, and in the gray sky only a small crescent moon flickered faintly. He sat taking shelter from the rain in front of the balcony. Vumak slumped with his face downcast and shoulders drooping. He told himself inwardly, "Endure it. It's just not eating. Even if I starve outside, I won't submit to them." As he sat in sadness, a warm scent with a hint of fragrance drifted over, making Vumak unable to resist looking up. This scent so fragrant. Seeing Deep Chan holding a bag of food in front of him, he could not help but be surprised. A loving voice escaped from his mouth, "Older brother." He looked at the stubborn younger brother and smiled affectionately. "You won. Your father reluctantly recognized me as his son so you could return home. Only acknowledging the blood relation outside, not staying in the Feng family nor changing the family name. He didn't understand why you insist on accepting a brother you have barely met these few times." Opening the bag, seeing the large steaming lunchbox, Vumak intentionally asked, "Did you buy the food?" Deep Chan asked worriedly, "Why?" A second later, he smiled with eyes closed in delight. I am a brother who buys food for a hungry younger brother. Isn't that reason enough? He was a little surprised, eyes sparkling as he looked at Vumak. In the freezing rain, Deep Chan's voice was warm enough to chase away the sadness. Truly a hopelessly silly younger brother. Returning to reality, looking at Deep Chan's lonely gravestone, his figure exuded the solitude that no one usually saw. Vumak slowly poured wine at the grave and continued recounting the time after that rainy night. After my older brother graduated, he joined the Kunang user team of the Hoa Nam Military District, achieved brilliant feats, but 3 years ago, he developed skin cancer. His condition worsened rapidly, and soon there was no cure. That night, he unplugged his life support machine and quietly died alone. At this point, Vumak could not help but clench his teeth in rage. Over the years he had done countless things for the family. Yet the Fong family people did not even spare his remains, taking them for transactions. Under this gravestone there was nothing, absolutely nothing. At that moment Chung Nguyen sharply noticed an anomaly in the story. Skin cancer? Why does it sound like the aftereffects of nuclear radiation? According to scientific theory, regeneration could cure this type of cancer. The ability he really needed was not immortality, but regeneration. Vumak must have brought him at least 100 snow serpent Kunang crystals. Somehow he must have absorbed them, right? After pouring out all the things he had always kept inside, Vumak decisively stood up. Chung Nguyen, no. Hyen Min, I want to ask you for a favor. Use the status of top 2 on the youth leaderboard to retrieve my brother's body. His life has been too hard. I do not want him to die without peace. You did not hesitate to accept. I agree to help you, but I am not sure if it will succeed. In Chung Nguyen's heart there was also some concern he did not voice. This matter mostly has hidden complications. It would be better to go back and try to trace Deep Chan's records first before proceeding. When he returned to the Lam Thien Hotel, he hurriedly took out his phone and listened to Feng Qin's instructions. This is still the official website of Kunang users of Hoa Quoc. Log in directly with your old account. Uncle Kai has transferred your file to 9th Void, so your access privileges will increase. Chung Nguyen wondered. Does this count as using public resources for private work? He sat with one leg crossed in a relaxed posture and spoke liberally. If even this small benefit does not exist, then who would want to do that shabby job for 9th Void? Besides, if Deep Chan is truly still alive, then even if you do not search, someone else will. Chung Nguyen did not hesitate and immediately looked up Deep Chan's file and read aloud the scant information. The file showed, 3 years ago Deep Chan participated in the Alphon disturbance campaign of Dang Thap Nation, coinciding with the time he developed cancer. Wait. The deployment record showing that he went to the Alphan disturbance had already been deleted. Ordinary people could not view it. The editor of the record was Bat U. Chung Nguyen looked at Feng Qin with suspicious eyes and implied, as the top one on the youth leaderboard, always ranked one step above me. He raised his hand to stroke his chin. This matter is complicated. Although in terms of strength you could defeat Bat U, the forces behind him are far too complex. It is still not wise to touch this murky water. But Chung Nguyen, being headstrong and never letting anyone intimidate him, asked directly, what is there to fear? I just changed to a 9th Void uniform. Can I endure this grievance or not? The next morning, in the university tournament hall, someone said apologetically, sorry to bother you. The polite staff member replied, it's all right, it's all right. If I forgot my phone in the hall, I would also be in a rush like you. Lai Nai bowed slightly and said, then we will enter. Her small feet walked slowly inside. As she walked, she turned to look at Deep Chan. The Fuong joy of Hoa Quoc does not follow day and night cycles. Staying here for a long time will certainly disrupt daily habits and affect skin quality. He slightly frowned and replied, please be conscious about sneaking into the enemy camp. Do not. Lai Nai said, anyway in a moment you will go simulate surveillance. It's all the same. After walking a little, she bent down and touched some ants on the ground. Then her eyes widened in curiosity, and she asked, the unmanned ant drone of Dang Thap Nation looks very similar to real ants. Will the students recognize it? Deep Chan replied very firmly, They will not recognize it, and it will not be our target. Smart people like to think a lot. The more someone notices it, the more useful it becomes. After a while, a clear voice came through the microphone to the entire hall. Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the 2043 University Kunang User Tournament. The familiar duo Trin Van and Kuk Sin continued to host today's match. She raised her hand excitedly. According to the schedule, we will have team competitions in the morning and individual competitions in the afternoon. In the team portion, opponents for the current round are drawn based on the hunting ranking in Fuongjoy. After 6 rounds, the 10 highest scoring teams will advance to the finals. Feng Qin sat in the spectator seats, chuckling as he listened to the praise. Everyone knew luck was also part of strength. Let us warmly welcome Team Feng Qin, the top team in the Fuongjoy hunt. They will draw first for this event. Chung Nguyen lightly tapped him to remind, "Go ahead, team captain. Draw into the strongest team for the first battle. Defeat them. The teams behind will automatically concede when they see us." Feng Qin looked down at him and grinned. "I really appreciate this fighting spirit." As he stepped up to the draw box, the MC's voice rang out excitedly. "Here it comes. Here it comes. The hand of the god from legend is about to reappear in the world. Let's see. The opponent that Team Feng Qin will face in the first battle is..." He pressed his finger on the red button atop the box. The large screen hanging in the stadium immediately displayed the result. It was last year's champion, Team Tachayat, Team Feng Qin of Than, an academy versus Team Tachayat of the Kunang Jia Academy under Thuong Kin University. Watching Feng Qin draw was even more interesting than watching the match. He returned to his seat and bumped fists with Chung Nguyen, not failing the trust given. Trin Van suddenly lowered her voice to add suspense. "I'm very sorry to tell everyone that the Black Cat player who displayed power last night has been permanently banned by the Permanent Organizing Committee for being too cute. And today, their main attacker, Chung Nguyen, has returned to the team smoothly." "Please look at the big screen." Seeing the Black Cat appear, she flusteredly said, "Sorry, wrong picture. Wait a moment." After changing the image, a picture of a beautiful muse appeared. Trin Van stiffened again. "This one is also not right. In short, please look at Chung Nguyen in the resting area." "All right, the previous image was correct. It was my own superficiality." At this moment, he sitting under the stands was so embarrassed he didn't dare look up. Currently all the teams had finished drawing lots. The Feng Qin team and the Tachayat team were also present on the field for the first battle. Both sides sat on the substitute benches at the same time. Tachayat's team even did not have a team captain. It could be called high-level silent trash talk winning over Huthan. However, Tachayat sat arrogantly with arms crossed, smiling to himself. Feng Qin, I told you to go to Thuong Kin University, but you did not go. Insisted on going to Tam Lu City instead. Today I give you face, so that the first match you do not lose embarrassingly." Lak Tam stepped forward, sneering and said, "Originally you could have competed for second place based on points, but unfortunately you drew us." Feng Qin curled his lips with confidence and replied, "Rest assured, we are not competing for second place with you. We will take first place." Moments later, he began to plan Tran Huck. When the match begins, use transmission to link the 4 of them together, then arbitrarily lock one of them. Once done, make a chirp sound. Ta'akhan protect Tran Huck. Transmission, linking multiple targets, all attacked at the same time. Lock the target. Channel all nearby energy onto the target. After hearing this, both replied in turn, "Understood, I will do my best." At this time, the referee lazily raised his hand signaling both sides to be ready, counting down 3, 2. Tran Huck was very serious. The last number was stated firmly by the referee. 1. Begin. The 4 members of Tachayat team used the 22 formation to rush toward them. Feng Qin team once again chose the counterattack defensive strategy. Taking advantage of the opponent attacking gradually, Tran Huck and Ukhan together cast their skills. Transmission. Then came the lock that left them agape in astonishment. In an instant, everything was resolved smoothly. He happily declared, "Done." From then on, Feng Qin was particularly praised. Very good. Not stopping there. He secretly then used a move. The Lord cannot fly outside, but can change airflow within vision to a certain degree, increasing the power of air bullets, just the right moment to use now. A dazzling golden light began to appear, air bullets piercing through, that directly attacked the opponent mercilessly. Immediately, their whole bodies convulsed with electricity, even blood sprayed. Everyone watching could not help exclaiming, "Oh my, what happened?" The 4 members of T'Chayat team were pierced by the invisible attack and fell like chaff. To prevent things from going too far, Feng Qin immediately suggested, quickly declare them defeated. A little later would be life-threatening. The judge displayed a sullen and irritated expression. After a while, he finally decided to start the timer. 30, 29, 28. Apparently the referee thought the T'Chayat team still had a chance to turn things around, so chose to count down and wait. Facing this situation, he was extremely tense. Not good. The lives of the opponents could no longer withstand. Currently, all 4 were lying prostrate. Feng Qin intended to help but was blocked by the referee, prohibited from attacking fallen players. If you go closer, I will show a red card. However, he paid no attention, directly flipped him backward, and moved aside. T'Chayat seemed to notice something, his eyes also becoming panicked. Then he stood up and decided for himself, conceding defeat. Thuongkin University conceded, and quickly declared it. Hearing this, the referee scratched his head in shock. Feng Qin was still trying to restore all 4 with the T-letter 181 and hat light energy. At the same time, the main referee loudly confirmed, winner, the winning team, the Feng Qin team. Tran Huck was frustrated, pointing straight at him and cursing, "Is this referee blind? Feng Qin is saving people." Ukhan tried to hold him back. While giving advice, Tran Huck calmed down a bit. "Do not conflict with the referee. The red card is out and cannot be withdrawn. We can only appeal afterward." Suddenly, a hand carefully picked up the red card. It turned out to be Chung Nguyen, who casually held it up in front of him and declared, "University tournament referee, is this the best you can do?" The referee froze and stammered, You, maliciously insulting the referee. Yellow card. After a moment, Trin Van spoke. "The battle has just ended. The referee panel unanimously decides the winner is Feng Qin team from Than An Academy." This battle lasted a total of 37 seconds, only 2 seconds slower than the team match record set by lack of Commander Jang Bat-U back then, almost broke the record. Suddenly, Kuk Sin panicked, sweating profusely. Than An Academy had submitted a complaint to the organizers and the referee had issued a red card against Feng Qin player, and then the referee was suddenly called away by someone else. Scene change at the office in the Hoa Nam military district. A hand lightly tapped on the desk, regardless of human lives. 100 tricks just to stretch it to 37 seconds. You guys really gave me a face. The referee grinned with delight. Of course, how could you allow a freshman from Tam Lu School to break my record? Bat-U frowned, propping his chin and inquiring, in your opinion, Chung Nguyen is just an unknown junior. Does that mean anyone can trample underfoot at will? Lu Keen rubbed his hands carefully and explained, not exactly, but in Hoa Nam, we value respect most. This fool just arrived in Quang Vinh City and would embarrass you. Of course he must be restrained. He asked sternly, you say he embarrassed me. Do you even know who you embarrassed? Bat-U stood up and continued explaining. Behind the university tournament is the government psionic forces of the whole Hoa Quoc. The authority of the referees is equivalent to the authority of the Hoa Quoc government. He asserted decisively, making the other pale. He deliberately blew the whistle to suppress talent. This is trampling on the face of the nation. Bat-U leaned close to threaten. I dare not claim this face, Jiang Mo. At that moment, Lu Keen panicked, crying and begging. Young Marshal, I was wrong, truly wrong. I won't dare again next time. Please spare me. He replied coldly. Death can be forgiven, but life is hard to pardon. Bat-U directly issued punishment. If you can't serve as a referee properly, go back to your village and farm. Meanwhile, Trin Van was announcing for the competition. Good afternoon, audience. Just now we received the latest news from the organizers. The referee who mistakenly issued a red card to player Feng Qin has resigned. Kok Sin beside her reported seriously. Unfortunately, red and yellow cards issued according to the principle of respecting referee decisions cannot be withdrawn. In the next team match, player Feng Qin will not be able to enter the field. She emphasized the important event. This afternoon there will be an individual match. Individual matches use a double elimination format. Due to the large number of participants, we will let the distinguished guests draw lots. Go ahead, a hand of God. At that time, Chung Nguyen was diligently grooming his cat fur. Feng Qin curiously pointed and asked, "Grooming these works?" He replied softly, "Indeed, not very comfortable." He added curiously, "Hearing that makes me want to try." Just then, the referee called names. The player Feng Qin, the player Feng Qin present, Feng Qin. He got up in displeasure and left, then said, "Let me draw lots. Do you think I should have to Chayat fight first and then Chung Nguyen?" Khan was startled with worry. "Not good. Our school still has many people registered for the individual competition. If Feng Qin draws first, they'll all be done. What to do? What to do?" At that moment, he suddenly had an idea. Got it. Khan happily used his ability, switching positions. From where Feng Qin was standing, suddenly a green aura appeared around him. In an instant, he was replaced by the black cat. Chayat shouted excitedly, Here it is. Just now someone used a position switching ability, swapping the positions of Feng Qin and the black cat, so it could draw." Lam Fuong rubbed his forehead in agreement. "I also think letting the cat draw is better than letting Feng Qin draw." The black cat closed its eyes in acceptance. "All right, if I draw, I draw." Trin Van excitedly announced the result. The black cat pressed its noble paw down, deciding the entire schedule for the individual matches, and Feng Qin's first opponent turned out to be Chayat. Is this fate? At that moment, Chung Nguyen asked coldly. "All right," the carefree guy replied, very comfortably. He continued casually, "Your head is so hard it broke my metal comb." Chung Nguyen turned away to look. "I'll see where the metal pin fell. Still usable after repair, super level sensing, satisfying." While Feng Qin healed his wound with solar energy. At that moment, he noticed something strange. Why is there machinery inside this ant? He took out his phone to photograph it, asking if anyone knew about it. Chung Nguyen sent the photo to Kai Tu and found. "This is from the tournament hall. Inside is machinery. Do you know?" The elder replied solemnly, "Preliminary assessment shows this is a drone produced by Dang Thap Kwok, model name Divine Ant. It has recording and simple navigation functions, one of the most common reconnaissance drones. The technology does not support cross-border communication. A person must go in or use a drone to transmit data." He asked further, "Isn't the university tournament live-streamed directly by psionic players? Wouldn't stealing data from the livestream be easier than using a drone?" Kai Tu thought for a moment and declared, "There is a hidden motive here. You investigate." Chung Nguyen was speechless and reluctantly thought, "The elder really? Forget it. In respect of the ninth void, investigate then." During the competition, Chung Nguyen pondered deeply, analyzing that the size of the Fuong Joy was only slightly larger than the university tournament arena, so using super-level perception to search it was not difficult, but it was very exhausting. Was it really necessary? He shifted his thinking. If he had a drone like that in his hands, and the target was information only obtainable at the university tournament, he would definitely have it sneak into the control room or attach to the clothing of important staff instead of crawling around aimlessly like this. Could it be that the opponent was really waiting for this drone to be discovered? At the same time, Feng Qin suddenly spoke. Nguyen, for the next match, I'll be at court number 1 and you at court number 3. He confidently affirmed, if you can't find it, keep searching. I'll replace it for you. Chung Nguyen responded indifferently, whatever. Feng Qin worriedly asked, why so distracted? Is something wrong? He calmly replied in a cold tone, just a small matter. My cat will handle it over there. Now it's our turn for the next match. At this moment, Chung Nguyen, in cat form, circled around to observe and spotted another one, making 5 in total, all running wildly in the arena with no clear target. He assessed deeply that ordinary people would not notice them, and anyone who could detect them must know their background. Once discovered, they would assume that Dang Thap Kwok was stealing information, and in any case, the tournament organizers would surely be investigated and held accountable. Could this really be aimed at the organizers? The black cat approached and proposed a bold solution. To find out who was causing trouble, the best way was to create a risk for the opponent, force them to react, destroy some of the drones first, and probe whether the opponent could control them. Trin Van enthusiastically introduced the match. Let's see what's happening at court number 1. The black cat's paw had drawn the lots, causing competitor Feng Qin to face competitor Tuchayat in the first match. As everyone knew, Tuchayat was the individual champion of the last 2 tournaments, ranked 65th in the youth leaderboard, and his strategic level abilities were so formidable that to this day no one has been able to defeat him. Feng Qin was the only healer class in the top 100 of the youth leaderboard, currently ranked 82, and this was his first time entering the individual competition. Tuchayat sincerely thanked him. Feng Qin, on behalf of my teammates, I thank you for saving them this morning. I will take this match. Before he finished speaking, someone bluntly interjected. Going on stage and conceding before fighting will not change rankings. Let me fight first and then step down. The referee sternly warned contestant Feng Qin, please do not encourage opponents to fix the match. He shrugged and proposed, then fine, today I will not use Kuk Chan. Whether you can beat me will depend on your skill. At the same time, she continued to announce, the 2 contestants at court number 4 have also taken their positions. The duel is between contestant Chung Nguyen of Than An Academy and contestant Lam Thuong of Boy Chan Academy. This morning, Chung Nguyen defeated 4 opponents with a single move. His abilities have not yet been publicly disclosed to the organizers, but his strength is unquestionable. Lam Thuong opposite is a contestant specializing in mental control. Her ability can control 19 people at once. Under the Academy's 3+2 education system, she should already be a 4th-year student and beginning regular team internship. But for some reason, she still lacks formal assignment. Watching from the stands, Chung Nguyen silently assessed. This girl looks like she cannot take hits. It feels as if a little force could kill her. He pondered tactics. Feng Qin on the adjacent court could not come over to assist, and no one could provide life resonance for her, so he should choose a non-lethal attack, just knock her out of the arena. Without more words, Chung Nguyen assumed a ready stance. Referee Truong signaled. Both sides took position. 3, 2, 1 began. Lam Thuong was cautious and fearful. The moment the shout ended, he vanished from her sight. Chung Nguyen suddenly appeared behind her and decisively kicked her in the hip. After delivering the blow, Chung Nguyen was surprised by her resilience. After a single strike, she still stood firm. She had some backbone. Referee Zhang angrily reminded classmate Chung Nguyen, please respect the female student and do not harass your opponent. He blinked in puzzlement. I kicked the easiest spot to hit. How is that harassment? Does being female mean I cannot use physical attacks? Lam Thuong pointed and called Chung Nguyen. She aggressively attacked. You are hurt. You are in pain. You have completely lost hope in life. You can no longer fight. He firmly decided, I have activated bravery. She launched a mental attack at me. I cannot directly strike her. I should counter with a mental attack. Then Chung Nguyen coldly fired off lines that made Lam Thuong blush. You are ugly. You are cruel. You scheme against me. I have never seen someone so shamelessly thick-skinned like you. He interjected angrily. Chung Nguyen, passive fighting. Warning 1. He was stunned and protested. The referee. I was using a mental attack to counter her mental attack. How did that become passive fighting? He asked, puzzled. You also have a mental attack ability, Chung Nguyen confidently explained. This is my own mental attack combining psychology, literature, and performance skills. Trin Van quickly commented. According to the personal information reported by Lam Thuong, she has no immunity to mental attacks. Chung Nguyen's mental attack must be at a physical level. At that moment Kuk Sin cried out in alarm. Wait, Lam Thuong hit by the move has fallen. She collapsed to the ground in fear. No, do not come here. Lam Thuong wailed and made a final effort with her ability. I take a risk with you. My mind collapses. Chung Nguyen was stunned when a strange force seemed to fly over his head. That was also her mental attack. Referee Zhang shouted the result in surprise. Chung Nguyen's mental attack took effect. Lam Thuong fell. Countdown, 27, 26, 3, 2, 1. Chung Nguyen wins. He asked in confusion. Is that allowed? Why do I feel she was acting? At that time Chung Nguyen and his black cat form assessed the situation. I destroyed 17 drones, and this is the last one I found. The controller has not reacted. Probably. He continued hypothesizing. The ant antenna is the communication device. The ant eye is the recording device. The ant mouth records audio. The ant body is an integrated chip. The ant rear is the battery. The opponent used divine ant drones, perhaps to make people think he wanted to steal tournament data. I deliberately broke the last communication device. I can play the fool trying to force him to restore data physically. The black cat both predicted and attacked, thinking that he would act, using violent force, always feeling as if some important information had been exposed, waiting while pondering. On the other side, Trin Van focused on discussing. Contestant Feng Qin had used a northern-style kick from the main discipline to kick contestant to Chiat out of the arena, directly securing victory. This was truly an attack that a healer type could perform, or did contestant to Chiat quietly yield? After the match, he remained proud but did not forget to help. In the double elimination format, we will have another match in a few days. Next time you use full power, I will still beat you. The healing gust, he challenged. Not necessarily. What if you lose 2 consecutive rounds and get directly eliminated? Feng Qin firmly affirmed. In this year's university tournament, there is only one person who could beat me. He returned to his seat and asked, where is Chung Nguyen? Didn't see the big screen show he had finished long ago. Han softly explained. The organizers determined that he had intentionally used a mental attack ability to seriously injure someone else, so they called him to the office. The head instructor is reasoning with Boy Chan Academy. Feng Qin, concerned, quickly took out his phone, asked about the situation. He both praised and messaged. The satellite phone is really good. There is still signal in Fuongjoy. Need help? Chung Nguyen immediately requested. Help me check the life status of Lam Thuong. Ignore the organizers. See if she needs saving. Feng Qin quickly agreed. No problem. At that moment, he noticed an important detail. He only discovered the drones after the draw. Surely Boy Chan Academy is not related to drones. Wait, the timeline. This is the real breakthrough in investigating the origin of the drones. At the same time, a group of people angrily ordered Chung Nguyen immediately release the ability applied on Lam Thuong. Otherwise, you will be permanently banned. Not only that, you will be tried by the military court. He calmly raised his hands in reconciliation. Sorry, please stop for a moment. Chung Nguyen thoroughly studied the entire area. The Fuongjoy is a new space created by copying terrain based on reality. The terrain itself of this space is entirely simulated by Fuongjoy energy and cannot exist independently of its anchor point. Even the electrical wiring and plumbing of the tournament hall must be specially designed for this purpose to be used normally after leaving the real world. Objects that can be taken out of the Fuongjoy can only be placed there after the terrain copy is completed. The Fuongjoy of the university tournament is the terrain copied just yesterday. The drones could only have been released within these 2 days, so the investigation range is very small. The surveillance video in the hall is very clear. Checking the footage could roughly find the flight path of the drones and who brought them in, combined with city surveillance outside the Fuongjoy. It will certainly yield many important clues. At this point he held the card up. The 9th void coordinated a bit. They exclaimed in surprise. What? The 9th void ID looks like this? Let me see whether it is real or fake. Looking at the picture, it was a cute pretty girl. Position 8 9th void. They frowned speechless. The guards angrily threw the card back. Are you kidding us? If not for seeing this fake photo, I would have almost believed it. Chung Nguyen, you forged a 9th void ID, malicious intent. Right. Do not think a fake ID can fool us. Chung Nguyen checked again in puzzlement and went pale. He forcefully threw the card on the floor. Then Chung Nguyen tremblingly called to report, Boss Kai, I will fire you. In another area, 2 guards questioned each other. Then Bat-U nonchalantly swept by using his ability. There seemed to be a gust of wind, super camouflage, illusion maybe. After arriving, he pondered, super camouflage, dispel it. I could casually open super camouflage and sneak into the hall. The tournament security is inappropriate, must be rectified. Bat-U worriedly analyzed that the referee this morning must have given Chung Nguyen a biased impression of me. I have to apologize directly. No matter what, Chung Nguyen is a strategy level 2. His combat strength may even surpass mine. Even if we are not friends, we must not become enemies. He hesitated, wondering how to approach. If he entered openly to find her, would it be too showy? But using super camouflage would be too suspicious. Or should he wait for her to come out? Also, she is 16, he is 25. Would there be a generational gap in conversation? Bat-U pondered, imagining. He heard that high school students at this age should interact a bit. But he wasn't wearing overalls, didn't play basketball. The shoulder-shaking dance he once knew was now outdated. Just as he was lost in thought, the cat coming to sign for her was because she raised it. There was always a feeling that this cat carried a secret. Fong Vu Mak feared the cat was just an excuse. Bat-U glanced at Chung Nguyen lying there, then froze as he realized. He suddenly appeared, staring at him. Bat-U cheerfully used his skill, rationally notifying and designating a target, interaction unobstructed. He took a pen and paper from his jacket. Then Bat-U happily said, Can you sign this for me? I watched the tournament live stream. I'm a loyal fan of yours. Chung Nguyen looked puzzled at the action. He raised his eyebrows in confusion. What's wrong with this brother? If you want a signature, then just ask for it. Why activate your ability? When it comes to psychic abilities, I fear no one. We can hurt each other if we want. Chung Nguyen took the pen. He shook his head, showing his cuteness, super clever. Then he signed the paper. Chung Nguyen. Bat-U was speechless, asking her to sign her name. Yet she wrote Chung Nguyen. Could it be that she was also named Chung Nguyen? Or was this cat specially trained so that whenever it saw a pen, it would automatically write those 2 words? He gently offered a suggestion. Can you write a sentence for me? Magic is deception. But those who watch magic love to be deceived. The boy looked at him with bullet-like eyes. That's a line from The White Phantom Thief. The concentration is too high. Chung Nguyen refused and pushed his hand away. Too long, not writing. Bat-U sadly tried to bribe him with food. I still have my last chocolate bar. It's yours. Please. I'll treasure your calligraphy forever. He coldly warned. Chocolate contains theobromine. Cats die if they eat it. Bat-U expressed his surprise. I thought people nowadays like naming their cats things like chocolate or vanilla. Chung Nguyen skeptically asked, Are you even a decent cat? He muttered to himself, Fine, since I'm not a decent cat anyway, I'll just write it and make him leave. Chung Nguyen held out the words, Magic is deception. But those who watch magic love to be deceived. He was astonished. Absolutely not a trained cat, but a real person. So is this really Chung Nguyen or someone else? The boy turned around and said curtly, You can leave now. Stop bothering me. I want to sleep. Bat-U hurriedly tried to hold him back. Wait, then why? Damn, no topic left. If I talk more, it'll be awkward. At that moment, he suddenly had an idea. Got it. Bat-U secretly circled behind him. He held out the pen and accused him. You bit my pen. Look at this hole. Chung Nguyen irritably sat up. This guy is so annoying. Anyway, I'm a cat now. Might as well meow twice to deal with him. Seeing that, Bat-U was shocked, pretending to think. So you're playing dumb. Come on, let's meow together. He suddenly imitated a few meows. Chung Nguyen suspiciously meowed back. Bat-U continued to play dumb and imitate. The boy lost his patience and scolded, "Talk properly." He pretended to be the victim. "You bit my pen and now you're playing dumb with me." Bat-oo feigned sadness. "I've been using this pen since first grade. It's been with me through countless days and solved countless problems. It means a lot to me." Chung Nguyen exposed the truth. "Nonsense. That's something you can redeem with points at the Yoko convenience store." He calmly admitted, "Right, that's the one, though it's been through many bodies. In my heart, it'll always be one single pen." He crossed his arms in concession. "Fine, I'll compensate you. Go outside, turn right for 200 meters. You'll see the Yang Shizai convenience store. Go in, report my phone number, and use points to redeem one. The membership code is 300.412. The phone number is..." Bat-oo hastily typed it in, then realized the identity. This is the phone number on Chung Nguyen's profile. She really is Chung Nguyen. He decisively lay down. "I'm going to sleep." He was determined to pursue, sleeping during the day and getting up. Chung Nguyen frowned in annoyance. He already compensated with the pen and still won't leave. Can this guy really understand, or is he pretending to understand? Didn't he just activate a power with me? Isn't that a translation ability? Anyway, I'll mention a little about psychokinetic topics to test his reaction. He sighed and explained the reason, truly not hiding anything. "I absorbed too much psychokinetic energy and was affected by the negative energy in it. So the only way to relieve it is to sleep. My true form has a lot to do. Only the second form can sleep a few times." Bat-oo, curious, asked, "Busy with a tournament? You're already ranked 2 in the youth leaderboard. Why bother competing? If you want something, just find Quan Feng to ask." Chung Nguyen frankly replied, "I still have to compete because I have a promise with someone I need to fulfill." He generously declared, "Fine, I already dismissed the referee who blew the whistle this morning. Anyone who dares to bully you again will face immediate consequences." He indignantly recounted the matter. "They're bullying me right now. I have duties to perform. I took out the ID, but they said it was a fake ID, so I decided to go to sleep like now." Bat-oo, shocked, asked, "What, they?" Just then, the phone suddenly rang. "Fish. Too big a fish. Tiger shark." He hurriedly continued, "Wait a moment, I'll answer the phone." As he picked up, the other side sharply called, "Bat-oo." That person angrily shouted, "You're raising hell alone in Hua Nam, right? Even the people of Jiuku you don't bother to notice." Bat-oo asked in confusion, "I do not understand what you are saying." T2 said angrily, "Agents of Ninth Void are carrying out a classified mission in Quang Vien City." The boy presented an ID and was slandered as forging his identity. He was astonished. "My God, Chung Nguyen is actually Ninth Void." He continued to scold. The university tournament hall had drones secretly released by others and nobody noticed. Only the eye of my little Tu Bat spotted them. Where was your venue security? Where was the site inspection? None of it. Drones are a major matter. You must resolve it immediately. Kai Tu finished anxiously. I did not easily get Chung Nguyen into Ninth Void. If the boy quits because of this, there will be big trouble. He hung up and thought to himself, strange, Ninth Void can directly check my phone. If Chung Nguyen really had an urgent mission, he would have called me straight away. Why is it T2 handling this? Could there be internal strife in Ninth Void? Seeing him absorbed, Bat-oo comforted himself. Internal strife in Ninth Void would only harm Hoa Quoc. Besides, this happened because I supervised poorly, so I must wear this pot and cannot shift it to others. He politely greeted me, introducing himself as the commander of Hoa Nam Military Region, Bat-oo, and apologized for the organizer's negligence. "I will go in immediately to resolve this," he said courteously. "I do not hope for your grand forgiveness, only that you understand our goals are the same. I swear to you that sooner or later I will create a world where you can sleep peacefully. Until then, can you be a little more patient?" Chung Nguyen brightened at this. Kai Tu leaked a messy photo causing the organizers not to accept the ID. You say nothing and take the blame. Top of the youth leaderboard, the commander of Hoa Nam has someone like that. He asked curiously how he knew he was Chung Nguyen. Bat-oo calmly explained, "I used a strategic level rational domination ability on you." As long as you express your wishes, I can understand the meaning in any form. I glanced through your records and cross-checked a bit to recognize you. He asked further, can you be immune to my partial cleverness? Bat-oo replied gently, the effect of partial cleverness is to reduce hostility, and I have no hostility. Chung Nguyen frowned and queried, earlier you said you would create a world where I can sleep peacefully, making such a big promise. Can you do it? Bat-oo sincerely answered, alone perhaps not, but with you it is possible. He turned away to tease, so you told me you are a fan, actually lying to me, right? Chung Nguyen cheerfully accepted. You are a brazen liar, but I enjoy being deceived. Bat-oo proposed cooperation. I will help you solve this. Tell me what to do. Chung Nguyen decisively explained. The drones have moved and are about to leave the Fuongjoy. Let us follow them first. Do not bother with the organizers for now. He suggested a plan. I will drive. You guide. On the way, Chung Nguyen provided some information. The antenna of this drone has been damaged by me, so it can no longer be remotely controlled and can only follow a preset route. Bat-oo unexpectedly asked, but it seems to know someone will follow. It even takes time to wait for traffic lights. He reasoned logically. The department responsible for investigating such cases is usually the Bureau of Ability Management, right? Could the enemy's target be the Bureau of Ability Management? He glanced over and stated his judgment. To be precise, it is Fa Dich, the director of the Bureau of Ability Management. Chung Nguyen asked doubtfully, how do you know? Bat-oo smiled wryly and replied, I have a senior who often said, intelligent people tend to overthink. He explained in detail, the appearance of the keen then drone is a form of filtering. Only those who are smart and insightful can notice it. And those people are also the ones who think too much. The more they imagine a conspiracy behind it, the more likely Fa Dich will be attracted to personally investigate. Chung Nguyen keenly remarked that a senior of yours understood human nature precisely. Bat-oo fell silent with a trace of sorrow. Perhaps no one in this world understands people better than he did, unfortunately. I attended his funeral last month. Chung Nguyen expressed his condolences, my sympathies, Commander Jiang. He suggested changing the subject. Our ranks are the same. You can just call me by name. He tried innocently. Vo-oo? He quickly corrected it. It is Bat-oo. The two characters Bat-oo mean Ngo-oo in Quang Vien dialect. Ngo is pronounced similar to Vo, but the written form is Bat. Chung Nguyen sighed and proposed, too complicated, I will just call you Jiang Thieu. He nodded in agreement. Then I will call you Nguyen Thieu. Chung Nguyen nodded approvingly. Fine, Vien Thieu then Vien Thieu. At that moment he suddenly remembered and asked, by the way, do you have a photo of Fa Dich? Bat-oo handed it over. Here. Chung Nguyen immediately used his ability and asked, does it look alike? He was stunned and called out the skill's name, Vo Jian Haiyan Chuang. The boy reminded himself silently, though I only altered my appearance according to the photo. If a similar ability exists, from now on I will simply tell others it is Vo Jian Haiyan Chuang. Then Bat-oo subconsciously requested, Nguyen Thieu, you can also transform into my appearance, right? I have worked for 5 years straight without taking a vacation. Could you take a shift for me, please? Even if it is just sleeping in the office. Chung Nguyen smiled and promised, Jiang Thieu, one day I will create a world where you can take a vacation whenever you want. Until then, please be patient a little longer. He was enjoying his old age with his pet. He lamented sadly, I do not want to kill anymore. The more I kill, the more I feel that life is something to be revered. I am old now, I cannot see clearly. Why do you still come looking for me? Ban Bo gloomily voiced his feelings. I just want to live out the rest of my days in peace. Lu Keen coldly mocked, Mr. Ban. Ever since you inherited the death-inducing Kerr crystal, you have had no right to speak of living out the rest of your life in peace. Man Thien nearby continued to taunt. 8 years ago you left Thiat Thap Quoc. Do you really think you can wash your hands and put down the sword? He angrily threatened, if you push me like this, are you not afraid I will let the fish die and the net tear with you? He sneered arrogantly. The death-inducing ability can only be activated once per day against a single target. But we are more than one. We can kill you after you activate the ability. Then let your daughter inherit your mutant Cur Crystal and your title as Death God in Thiat Thapquak. Lu Keen said indifferently with no humanity. If you do not want to kill, then your second daughter will help you kill. Ban Bo bit his teeth in irritation. He recalled his painful past. He proudly declared arrogantly, whether you want money, fame, or women, we can give them all to you. Only freedom you are not worthy of. Behave obediently. Dare to run or betray, and we have ways to make you repent. Ban Bo knelt in grief before his daughter. How can you be so cruel? Annie is only 6 years old. She has not yet enjoyed the good world. He trembled, holding the knife, blaming himself. It is all because of this hereditary death-inducing Cur Crystal. It is what makes people lose their conscience. Ban Bo sobbed angrily. It is what has taken away my freedom, forcing me to live in this world only as a tool. He resolved to end everything. As long as I can condense the mutant Cur Crystal before I die, I can end this chain of sin. Ban Bo fearfully reminded himself, as long as I stab down, there will be no more sacrifices. But the next second, he put the knife down. Ban Bo sobbed in despair. Some time later, Tu Truck carelessly comforted him. What is so bad about being an assassin? After all, you do not even know the people you kill. She cheerfully coaxed. Their deaths will only turn into your money and fame. Tu Truck continued to paint a bright picture. The children of your children in the future will live a good life just like you. Is such a life not happy? He wearily replied with indifference. That no longer matters. What drives me to live is only the fear of death. Ban Bo felt dejected, recalling his most beautiful moments, afraid of dying, and also afraid of others dying because of him. He stroked his pet's head, then made a reckless decision. If I activate the death-inducing ability one more time, I will die from exhaustion. If I fail, they will send my second daughter to continue the job, so this time I must succeed. Ban Bo squinted and pondered silently. He drew out the plow blade, then whispered apologetically, so that the next act can proceed smoothly. I am sorry, Dai Hong. In a distant place, Lai Nai was lurking and observing. We are hiding and watching from afar, just seeing the commander at work. How boring, Deep Chan cautiously explained. Fa Ditch's false projection can read the memories of others. The fewer people who see us, the lower the risk. She disagreed and questioned, is it really necessary to be that careful? Lai Nai arrogantly mused. All you did was place the Keen Then drone at the convention hall and schedule the action. You have made the enemies chase their own tails. Fa Ditch and Bat Yu both took the bait. How foolish they are. She gently coaxed. Deep Chan, after we collect Ban Bo's death-inducing Cur Crystal, will you return to Thiat Thapquak with me? We first provoke the Cur administration, then together eliminate Ninth Void. After we kill Vuong Fa Ditch and Jang Bat Yu this time, Hoa Quoc will not let anyone keep you alive. You can no longer go back. Come with me. Your only home now is Thiat Thapquak. They circled the car briefly. Chung Nguyen confidently asked the other. Jang Thieu, do you have the life protection ability? He asked in puzzlement. Bat Yu calmly listed his skills. Right now I have 6 abilities. Contract, Rational Notification, Infinite Dreamscape, Super Resolution, Super Camouflage, Enhanced Defense. Life protection really is my weakness. He asked in amazement for more. Really? Can you just tell me that? He smiled and explained. I also know the secret that you can turn into a cat. So we are even. Chung Nguyen curiously inquired, what about your luck when drawing lots? Bat Yu proudly boasted, I once drew 10 times and got 2 SSRS. He was momentarily speechless and a bit annoyed. Right now I really want to beat you to death. He laughed wryly. I am just one who forges fate. Drawing many times you will eventually meet luck. Chung Nguyen frowned and turned away. He did not say much and directly proposed. Then, let me contract with you. If you can draw my life protection ability, then consider yourself lucky. He stared at him in astonishment. Bat Yu anxiously pressed. Do you think we will die soon? Chung Nguyen decisively declared. My premonitions are always accurate. If you do not draw it, then get out of the car immediately. Do not offer your head. He teasingly provoked you. You must be hiding a bunch of strategic level abilities not recorded in your file. Is it safe for me to truly contract? Chung Nguyen impatiently urged. Why are you dithering? If I say contract, then just contract. Bat-oo stammered and waved his hand. Fine, then I will not be polite. He touched the palm of Chung Nguyen. Instantly, Bat-oo's eyes flashed green. This is... He was astonished by the miraculous ability. Contract granted him the ability Life Authority. Bat-oo stood dumbfounded for a few seconds. Then they stopped at the gate of the house. Chung Nguyen frowned and remarked, the drone stopped in front of the entrance of a ruined compound. The enemy must be inside lying in ambush for us. He boldly asserted, although the enemy knows we are coming, the final super camouflage can still act as a distraction. Chung Nguyen nodded and added a reminder. When the battle begins, you hand over the Life Authority directly. Don't hesitate. Bat-oo replied with some concern. Life Authority consumes a lot of energy. I cannot maintain it for more than a few seconds. Moreover, if I stop, I cannot use any other abilities. Chung Nguyen teased skeptically. The top 1 youth only has this much. Too weak. He laughed awkwardly in response. Being top 2 also does not fit reality. Go ahead first. No. Seeing Bat-oo wanting to yield, Chung Nguyen responded firmly. You refuse to be top 0. He seriously returned to the main point. No more nonsense. I see the enemy. Bat-oo carefully confirmed that they are not ordinary residents. Chung Nguyen pointed out something unusual. In the vegetable garden, there is an old man holding a stiff dead dog in his arms, still petting it, clearly intentionally creating a suspicious point to lure us over. He asked innocently in disbelief, how do you know he isn't preparing dinner for tonight? Chung Nguyen shuddered in awe. I heard people here like you eat everything, even cockroaches. Armored insects aren't cockroaches, but dragon lice, beetles. Surely you wouldn't want to eat my entire body. Bat-oo awkwardly explained, I have no interest in that. Hearing him say it, Chung Nguyen paled and quickly stepped back. He even said it out loud, truly revealing himself. He panicked and tried to argue. People from Quang Vien don't eat Thuong-dong humans. And don't eat Thuong-dong cats? No, we don't eat humans. You can't believe rumors. Bat-oo emphasized he had no ill intent. He is a true cat lover, and would never eat a cat's body. Chung Nguyen skeptically and stubbornly replied, you fed chocolate to a cat. Only a demon would believe you. At the same time, Lu Keen observed from above and signaled something unusual. It seemed the enemy was arguing. Man-Thien disdainfully spoke, using super camouflage and still arguing loudly. Do they underestimate us? He calmly aimed his gun. No problem. Even with super camouflage, it makes no difference to me. Lu Keen focused and activated his skill, breaking awareness. Then a powerful bullet shot out like a missile. At that moment, Chung Nguyen, irritated and about to argue back, hey, he noticed and immediately pushed him aside. Careful. In that dangerous moment, both of them managed to dodge in time. Lu Keen panicked and wondered, impossible. How could he react the instant I pulled the trigger? Could he be predicting the future? He anxiously shouted. Fa Dich was hit, quickly using the death ability. Chung Nguyen quickly used his ability, Extreme Cold. Then a thick layer of ice appeared. Ban Bo reluctantly muttered an apology. Sorry, Commander Jiang, I was forced. Lu Keen used a technique to lock him down, Wind Seal Blessing. He urgently used a special ability, Death Inducement, to designate a target so it can die instantly. If the target's tier exceeds the Death Inducement level, then it will have no effect, and it can only be used once per day. Bat-oo froze and turned his head back. He saw him get hit and called out in alarm. Jiang Thiu's condition is not good. Even though this is a residential area, we must freeze the entire zone first to eliminate the enemies, then thaw. Chung Nguyen responded with a hand technique, Eternal Ice Formation. Bat-oo frowned, lying on the ice. He reminded himself about his abilities. Life Authority plus an immortal body only works on himself. Healing others at most is full level 4 gold rebirth. But I hope he was not struck in a way that rebirth cannot fix. Seeing Bat-U wince in discomfort, he tearfully scolded, "Jang, you liar, you lied. You said you would create a world where I could sleep peacefully, and yet you failed midway and collapsed. Wins and losses are normal. Hero, do it again from the start." At that, Chung Nguyen glared and whistled when he noticed him trembling. He sneered angrily, "Finished acting yet? Fake dead again, and I'll really bury you." Bat-U smiled jokingly, "With this face of faditches I can say, even if you are not dead, I will make you die of laughter." Chung Nguyen sighed and agreed, "Fine, I'll transform back." He pondered, "If I'm not mistaken, then he is the death god of Thiat Thap Kwok in legend." Ban Bo. Hearing the name, he questioned, "The death god of Thiat Thap Kwok." Bat-U narrated the situation. Earlier, Faditch investigated, and it was recorded that Ban Bo illegally entered 8 years ago. If the matter involves Ban Bo, it might explain why they set a trap for the Bureau of Coup Management. Thiat Thap Kwok has a strategic tier ability called Death Inducement, hence the title Death God. It is said that currently only Ban Bo possesses Death Inducement. He is of mixed Hua Kwok and Thiat Thap lineage. 30 years ago his name shook the world, but 8 years ago he disappeared, rumored to have retired to Hua Kwok to live out his old age. He shrugged and spoke proudly about the experience. Earlier he really felt the death inducement strike him. But he had already opened the life authority that had been contracted beforehand. The death inducement was blocked by the life authority together with an immortal body. The ability can be activated without needing a target, truly noble. But Bat-U inwardly analyzed that in fact if the sniper had not seen his super camouflage and fired first, he would not have had a chance to open life authority before the death inducement. If Nguyen Thieu had not pushed him away, that bullet would have hit him and he would have died. Chung Nguyen was speechless and felt regretful. If he had not contracted life authority earlier, he might have been kicked out of the car halfway through. Had he known this guy was okay, he would not have used the eternal ice formation. Freezing the whole residential area this time means they still have to figure out how to clean up the aftermath. Then he pondered and suddenly discovered something. Bat-U asked excitedly, "Nguyen Thieu, although Ban Bo is frozen, you can still bring him back to life, right?" Chung Nguyen asked suspiciously, "What do you want to do? Are you not afraid he will death inducement again?" He replied confidently, "Not afraid. I have a special trick to advise surrender." Chung Nguyen, dissatisfied, suggested, "Why advise surrender? Would it not be better to directly extract the crystal?" Bat-U scoffed and replied bluntly, "He has been the death god of Thiat Thap Kwok for many years. He certainly has meridians and widespread knowledge. Being alive is more useful than dead." Chung Nguyen agreed and raised his hand. "I only need to thaw the ice. The rest you handle yourself." "Life authority," he responded excitedly and firmly, "No problem." At that moment the ice around Ban Bo rapidly melted. Bat-U seized the opportunity and declared excitedly, "Infinite dreamscape. Now is the time to perform."